beautiful day in the Little Apple. Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus presents college baseball from Manhattan, Kansas. South Dakota State looking to take two from the Wildcats. A beautiful day in the Little Apple. Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus presents college baseball from Manhattan, Kansas. South Dakota State looking to take two from the Wildcats after a surprising win here last night. Into the Mike Clark family broadcast booth now with you, Brian Swallow, along with former Wildcat All-American and Big Eight Player of the Year, Craig Wilson. Kansas State last night falls 4-0 to South Dakota State. If you're the Jacks, boy, you got to be riding high even from last night. Now you get a little greedy coming in here to tonight.
Sure, they're in the driver's seat, right? K-State's up against the wall. They're trying to get the split, but, SDSU looked pretty good last night.
Yes, they did, shutting out K-State. The offense, though, if you're the Wildcats, you got to find a way to get going.
Yeah, they just need to be a little bit more aggressive. I saw a lot of passive swings, a lot of pitches that were in that they shouldn't have been swinging at. So hopefully they'll get it back on track tonight.
We'll take a look at the lineups here and see what South Dakota State will present itself with. A little bit of a surprise again today. No Gus Steiger out of the lineup at the shortstop's position. Luke Ira moves over from second to short like he did defensively yesterday. In from left field is Braden Brown, and the start in left field goes to Carson Max. A little bit of a different look behind the plate with Garrett Reese. As for K-State defensively, they've changed up their lineup today as well, trying to get some younger guys a chance in the field. Kokoska now out in center field, moving from right to center. Jordan Maxson, who played a little bit of left field last season but hasn't done much of it so far this year, gets to start today out there. And the infield pretty much the same as yesterday. And Dom Hughes to start in right, Ceballos behind the plate. On the mound is the normal left fielder for K-State, Dylan Phillips, who did split some time as a pitcher in the summer leagues last year in the Northwoods League, and also has one appearance so far this season. It was in relief. This will be his first start. A young man that has really been a superstar in the high school ranks, the prep ranks up in Omaha, Nebraska. K-State has long wanted to get him up on the mound and some experience as a pitcher. He will get that chance today, trying to lead K-State in what's expected to be a staff day. A lot of different guys throwing as they try to get back on the winning side of things against South Dakota State here today. Our umpires, Dean Carlson behind the plate, Travis Olson at first, Robert Dickinson at second, Conan Strobel over at third base, and we are ready to go for baseball here in Manhattan, Kansas, and in a climate where you're not quite sure if how many more of these will actually have fans on site for a baseball game. Dylan Phillips towing the rubber from the very far side, ready to throw his first pitch to Landon Badger, who was kind of the hero last night for South Dakota State, and he's laid on a fastball, and we're underway just a few minutes past the top of the hour. Now, Dylan Phillips, a left-hander that can run a fastball in the upper 80s, a good curveball, and a changeup. He has not pitched in 13 games as you get a first look at the curveball slash slurve that he throws home for a strike. Left-hander at 6 foot 220 is Phillips going against Landon Badger, who last night drove in 2 RBIs with a 2-out RBI single in the fourth that gave the Jacks their 4-0 advantage. And he strikes out on 3 pitches against Dylan Phillips at a good start for K-State.
No fooling around right there. He went right at him, right out of the gate. 3 pitches.
Keys to victory, Mr. Craig Wilson, as to what K-State and South Dakota State need to do today.
Well, SDSU needs to continue their timely hitting. They didn't have a whole lot of hits last night, but the ones they did have were very effective. Duplicate the Eli Sundquist outing and the addition to the staff. Riley McSherry will have his work cut out against him with K-State trying to get back on track tonight. For K-State, forget about last night. Chalk it up as a bad night and come out of the gates fast tonight. And then get after it offensively. You know, we talked about it earlier that the Wildcats struggle a little bit offensively, swinging at some bad pitches. They're going to need to get some good swings tonight to get the win.
Yeah. 8 hits in last night's game, but the Wildcats stranded 6 of those 8 in scoring position. Never really were able to get going offensively, and the Wildcats could not string together those big hits nor get the big 2-out hits that they needed. 1-1 pitch sent skyward. A slight south breeze today, blowing the ball out towards left field. Kokoska in center field will make the grab on this. It shouldn't help the ball too much, but it is noticeably warmer today. 68 degrees at first pitch. A beautiful day here in early March.
We did see some balls get hung up in the air last night with it being a little bit chillier. you might see the ball travel a little bit better tonight.
Certainly to left field if folks can challenge the left field. This is a small ballpark and plays smaller when the wind is blowing out, as it does usually later in the spring. Curveball in the outside corner misses to Braden Brown, who began this year making the move from being a first-team All-Summit League performer at second base to the outfield to make way for Luke Ira, a sophomore who's taken over that spot. But with the absence of Steiger, Brown back from the outfield into his infield position. Well, that curveball at 77 from Phillips certainly seems to make that fastball quite a bit more.
It is. It looks like they're having a little bit of trouble picking it up because it's he's elevating his fastball, and he's getting some of the jacks to chase him up out of the zone.
Former Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year was Phillips, two-way star out of high school, three-time All-Stater. Put up eye-popping numbers at the plate and on the mound coming out of Omaha. Somewhat of a local celebrity up there. 1-1 is fouled back. I remember last year K-State playing at Creighton at TD Ameritrade Park, and there were a number of Omaha media outlets that wanted to talk with Phillips prior to the game. He was just a freshman and was in the midst of his season with K-State. Nothing too stand out-ish, if you will, with his performance, but well, they were anxious to talk to him as he had bypassed the hometown Blue Jays to come to the Wildcats. Ground ball right back to Phillips. He'll just fling it over to first base. Sperlin steps on the bag, and a 1-2-3 top of the first for Dylan Phillips. Wildcats coming to the plate. We'll return on Big 12 Now.
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win found inside every Marine. Battles won.
She's got a brake job. She needs the right parts. With free next-day delivery from AutoZone, she orders the parts online as late as 10 p.m., and we deliver them the next day, so she can get back on the road. Getting the job done just got easier.
Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's her first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we...
The closing!
Back on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus, Brian Swiller, Craig Wilson with you. Our entire crew, the lineup today for Pete Hughes. You see his second season as the Wildcat skipper. Zach Kokoska back in that leadoff spot. Daniel Carinci, fifth in the Big 12 in hitting, now in the number 2 spot ahead of Thompson and Sperlin, who have been hot. Phillips stays in there as the pitcher, likely will stay in the game as the DH following his outing today on the mound. Defensively, South Dakota State, the Jacks, a little bit different look again with no Steiger today. As mentioned before, Ira at short, Brown at second, Max in left field. He moves over. Ryan McDonald in the lineup today in right. Falk gets to start at first base. Beasley gets the day off as the DH. And Garrett Reese behind the plate along with Cranback, our newcomers to the lineup, along with the starting pitcher in Riley McSherry. Sophomore from Rapid City, South Dakota. 5'10", 160 pounds. You see his season numbers. It has been a little bit of a rough go in 7 outings so far this season, 2 starts. He's allowed 29 runs, 25 earned, 15 walks to 15 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .368 against him. So he'll be on the mound to face off against Zach Kokoska, Carinci, and Thompson, the lineup for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the first. And Kokoska takes one low for ball 1.
We'll see if the offense could get the same tempo that Phillips had working in that first inning.
Phillips really had a great rhythm to get the game started the right way for K-State, and we'll see about the Wildcat offense and right from the get-go if they have better at-bats than last night. Kokoska did end up going 1 out of 4 with a stolen base in last night's game. That gives him 15 straight games of reaching base. He takes a strike to make it 2-1. A look there at McSherry, dealing with the lefty Kokoska. A chopper up the middle. Brown will have to hurry to get Kokoska, who runs well. He just does get him by a step.
Nice play by Braden Brown right there. Koska runs well. Ball's comes right off almost the top of the plate. It's not an easy play for a second baseman. I mean, it's nice throw off balance. Close.
Very. One of those was challenged last night by K-State. Did not end up being won. Now Carinci takes the pitch upstairs. A lot of things to think about on that last play. And not only do you have the turf sort of bounce, right? So that you don't know which way that ball's spinning as it takes that short hop right before it gets to Brown. But then the transfer has to be incredibly fast without rushing.
Yeah, that would have been a lot tougher play on a natural surface just because you wouldn't have gotten such a high bounce. You would have been feeling the ball down around your shins. But, yeah, the first part is you have to catch it, right? You have to hurry up and get that transfer out. It's got to be clean. And then you got to make a good throw going across your body back towards the first baseman. So a good play all the way around. 2-1
spoiled into the remaining pine trees down the right field line. Carinci, the transfer from Alabama. In his first year with K-State, hitting a team best .382, which is 5th best in the Big 12. It's been a bit of a surprise. Was brought in to be a defensive stopper at second base, and he has excelled in that regard. Not an error yet this year for Carinci, but his hitting has been superb in this early part of the season. And he's going to get on base with a pitch down in the dirt. No, he's not. They're going to say that he went around. Carinci thought he checked on one down on top of the plate, and the first base umpire on appeal says he went around.
Well, we'll take a look at it, but that's close.
Ooh.
I think he held up.
I think he did as well.
It's a tough call. That's always a tough call for the first base umpire, you know, because it happens so fast, and there's not really a rule behind of what actually has to happen. I mean, you talk about breaking your wrists and things like that, but you get so far out in front of your plate. If the hands get too far out in front, it's very deceiving for the first base umpire. So a lot of times, you know, they'll miss calls like that.
Well, I think to your point, and looking at that play, that's exactly what happened there. Carinci's hands went beyond the plate. The bat may not have gone.
Correct.
Foul tip by Thompson into the bit. McSherry looking for a 1-2-3 inning to begin here, and another shutout inning by the Jack pitching staff against a K-State offense that had been pretty hot coming into play today. 1-1 is scorched, knocked down by Brown. He just is able to keep it on the infield, and an infield single for Thompson.
Nice effort by Brown. I don't know if he would have been able to throw Cam out, even if he comes up with that, but you like to see the effort. Hits that ball pretty good. This is a little bit what was happening last night, and you know, this is some of the things that happen where you're struggling a little bit. You're getting guys on with 2 outs. You know, you're getting that hit with 2 outs, and as a pitcher and defensively, you love it because you know it's going to take a couple hits to get someone in. But we need to start getting those leadoff guys on so the other guys can bring them in.
And in hindsight, Pete Hughes said it after the game, and reading some of the comments that he had, you and I talked about it during the broadcast last night. The biggest turning point of that game was one of the rare times K-State did get a hit to lead off an inning in the 6th or 7th inning when there was a double play by K-State that eradicated a chance for them to score.
Well, and I think Ceballos he got a little bit too anxious. He wanted to do too much, and you know he went up there with the approach of, hey, I'm going to be aggressive, and he got a pitch that ran in on him, and you know that's why I said it last night, where you want to do a lot, but you got to be patient, you know, throughout the game, and you know that comes with experience. I mean, he'll learn from that.
A couple of sliders greet Sperlin in his first plate appearance of the night. Sperlin coming off a 10 RBI weekend against Stanford, 0 for 4 in the bowl game last night. Fastball was down. Ball, though, trickled away from catcher Reese. And now they're going to say it's a strike. Boy, Sperlin not happy about that at all. Strike 3 called, and that is the end of the inning.
We're all taught to share, but giving someone your pain medication isn't generous. It's reckless, yet 1 in 5 people prescribed an opioid admit to sharing it with others. These drugs can be dangerous, even deadly. Support the people you love. Store your medication securely and dispose of unused medication. If you're asked to share, say no. Help prevent opioid abuse among your friends and family before it starts. Talk. It truly matters.
When you scan winning and non-winning tickets with the Kansas Lottery Play-On app, you earn points you can redeem for prizes and promotions, like a new car or game day packages. But it's not a miracle worker.
Come on!
I'm trying!
Keep the dream of winning going with the Play-On app. Kansas Lottery. Dream bigger.
Welcome to the Big 12, a place marked by unmistakable commitment, uncompromising values, and unrivaled spirit. A place where champions are crowned the right way, in a conference with no divisions, where everyone plays everyone and every game matters. Welcome to the Big 12, a conference unlike all others, where possibilities are unlimited, competition is unsurpassed, and true potential is unleashed.
Some of the young fans in attendance on a beautiful night in Manhattan, Kansas at Toyton Family Stadium, and what seems to be maybe a dissolving trend over the next couple of weeks. Fans at sporting events, with all the rapid announcements today by the NCAA regarding basketball and the NCAA tournaments. The Big 12 just making an announcement about 45 minutes ago that they are removing fans from the Big 12 championship this weekend over in Kansas City as well. So it's a situation that continues to move quite a bit as more and more is learned about social distancing, so to speak, and health practices. And so what you're seeing now, fans at a sporting event, could be a rarity in the coming weeks as folks try to adjust to life with COVID-19 here in the United States. Dylan Phillips, in the meantime, we play baseball, and Josh Falk at the plate to lead off here in the second inning.
I have to believe some of those little guys are going to make their way out to the jungle gym out there.
That's right, the Seidlinger family playground area that is down the left field line. Wonderful new addition to Toyton Family Stadium. This is the perfect day. Spring break. Got the kids. Get them out here. Fastball that was up. Checking was Falk. Some groans from the fans, but that was clearly not a swing by Josh Falk. Had a 9-game hitting streak come to an end here at the ballpark last night. And that got a piece of him. Phillips tried to come inside with a fastball and clipped him. Or that is just ball 4, I should say. And he'll head down to first. Either way, if it hit him or whether it missed, he's on to lead off the second.
K-State's got to make sure that, you know, the last inning with those check swings and everything, don't get them off track, right? Phillips came out, had a good start to the game, had a couple bad calls the first inning. They got to regroup, make sure they don't let it affect them.
Phillips gets a fastball past Drew Beasley, who's the designated hitter in today's game. And Phillips pumping strikes. Just missed.
I mean, I like his approach right now. I mean, he's really lost the last hitter, but he's really going after these guys.
Fouled away. Stays 1-2.
As you can see, that last shot too, it's a little more difficult for a runner on first to be able to get a good lead, get a good jump off of a left-handed pitcher.
I would think that holding runners would be one of the more difficult things for a two-way player like Phillips to really work on and refine as he misses home. 2-2 to Beasley. You're spending a majority of your time most likely working, in Phillips' case, as a hitter and at left field, trying to learn that defensive position. He came to K-State as a first baseman. He may get a couple of bullpens.
Well, there's a patience piece to holding runners on too. It's right, changing up your speed, changing up your look, and not letting that pitcher get a rhythm of what you're trying to do, right? And he's, I mean, as you said, he's a position player too, so he's amped up. He wants to go get the hitter. So, but there is a patience to where you want to switch up your timing.
Phillips misses high and back-to-back walks to open up the second. So after a very effective first, a bit of an inauspicious start to the second, and Buck Taylor, pitching coach for K-State, is on his way to the mound to visit with Phillips. So there might be something mechanical that may be just a bit off.
Well, especially in the first inning. First inning, some of the hitters were going after some of that high stuff, and I know they probably went back in and said, hey, guys, let's bring it down a little bit and make sure we're laying off some of the high pitches. So he's lost the first couple here with the high pitch.
Buck Taylor, second-year pitching coach for K-State after 13 years as the head coach at Palomar Junior College out west in California. And Buck Taylor, you can see him, he's wearing actually a different number. Not that you fans may not notice that, but he's wearing 14, and that is the number of his very good friend John Altobelli, who was the head coach at Orange County Community College, who was killed in that tragic helicopter crash with Kobe Bryant that got so much coverage here a few months ago. Buck Taylor was actually asked to be the keynote speaker at John Altobelli's funeral that was held in Angel Stadium out in California and give the eulogy. So it's been a bit of a tough go here the last month or so for Buck Taylor, dealing with that. Chris Ceballos, catcher for K-State, played for John Altobelli at Orange County.
Wow.
And he too went out for the funeral with Coach Taylor. Luke Ira now the batter. Shows a bunt. K-State was ready for it, but the pitch missed. Look at Ceballos.
So right there, it looked like from a defensive standpoint, Sperlin's charging in from first base. Dylan's job is going to be to cover the left side of the infield. Cam's going to stay put at third base unless the ball is bunted hard enough to where he can come get it. They're going to potentially, if the ball's bunted hard enough, they'll try to get the runner at third.
Ira bunted at the pitch and missed. And it's 1-1. More difficult or easier for a left-handed pitcher to make that throw to third base?
I would think it's a little easier because obviously you don't have to turn your body. With right-handed pitchers, you're going to have to field it, turn, fire. Sometimes you don't have, you don't see the pick up the third base bag as much. But for a left-handed pitcher, it should be fairly easy.
So if you're Ira, you're trying to get this first base side or third base side?
I always, depending on how everything was happening.
Right, so in this case, K-State's crashing first base.
Yeah, first and second, you're going to want to make the third baseman field this ball. So you want to get it, you want to bunt it down the third base line far enough away from the pitcher
right,
to where the third baseman has to come get it.
So you're not wanting to deaden it necessarily. You want to get it
to him.
Kind of hard bunt that forces Thompson to leave the bag.
At least close to the line. It could be soft, but it has to be close to the line.
Now swinging away at 2-1, and he fouled it back.
Yeah, I always preferred, when I bunted, I always preferred bunting it to the right side. That was just easier for me.
First base side.
Yeah,
really.
I could always
push
see it
bunt
a little bit better. Yeah, turning the bat, getting the angle. It's all about getting the angle and getting on the eye level of where the pitch is, and making sure that barrel's above the ball at all times.
Well, the bunt will be off here at 2-2. Breaking ball, almost the exact play that they needed. First, Sperlin, because of the slow choppers, only play is to tag the runner, and the runners move up 90 feet. So Ira gets the job done.
He does. The only problem is he gets an out on that instead of a sacrifice. But job's done, and he helped his team.
So runners in scoring position for Carson Max. Max missed 4 games prior to the K-State series, but had been off to a great start as a freshman and continued that last night, going 1 for 3 in the ball game against K-State. And he'll take strike one.
This is a situation where Dylan could be a little bit careful. You know, throw some off-speed pitches, run some pitches up out of the zone. If he walks Max, it's not a big deal. You know, sets up for a double play, maybe a force out at home. But Max is just going to try to put this ball in the play and somewhere in the middle of the field, get the runner in.
Phillips wants to go through the signs again. Wants Ceballos to give those again. The runner out at second, trying to disguise what the Cats want to do. Fastball, center cut, lifted out to shallow left. Maxson on the run will make the grab. He's got a great arm, and holding at third base is Falk.
Really nice play out there by Maxson. Wasn't the easiest one. It looked like it was fisted a little bit. He got in, got a good jump on it. It was just shallow enough where they didn't want to take a chance. Makes a nice throw, hits his cutoff man. You see Cam right in the middle of the field, right where he should be.
And that'll be it for Phillips. So Pete Hughes will signal to the bullpen where K-State had a pitcher warming up. Again, it was going to be an abbreviated start today for Phillips. And after getting 2 outs, want him to end on a high note. K-State will go to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return on Big 12 Now.
One-day delivery, video, music, and more with Prime.
Capital One knows life doesn't update you about your credit card. So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong and helps you fix them. Another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. What's in your wallet?
Back on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus, the Wildcats go to the bullpen for the first time today, and what's expected to be a revolving door out there as they try to get guys ready for the weekend, and some other guys that haven't worked much some action. Zach Herbers has been a key reliever out of the pen for K-State on the weekends. He'll get a short stint here today just to stay fresh. You see his season numbers, 4 appearances, all in relief, a 1-0 record, a 0.71 ERA. His last outing, really spectacular against Stanford in the second game of that doubleheader. Went 4 1/3 in relief and got the win, not allowing a run, walked none, struck out 4, and allowed 4 hits. Look at those strikeout ratio, 3-13 and 12 2/3. Herbers is a newcomer to the Wildcats, coming from Saddleback College a year after spending a redshirt season at University of Nevada, where he did not play. Product of Laguna Beach, California, and he'll inherit a tough spot. 2 runners, second and third, 2 outs. Both the responsibility of the departed starter Dylan Phillips. And Matt Krambeck, who played defensively at third base in the 9th inning of last night's game, will get the start today and get his first plate appearance of the weekend, or of the series, I should say. Herbers will miss upstairs with ball 1. Herbers 87-89 with his fastball. Curveball, slider, change. The numbers there for Krambeck on the season. And a couple of off-speed pitches stay up. 2-0.
As a reliever, this is actually a pretty good spot for him. Come in, runners on second and third, 2 outs. Got to get out of a jam. More experience you can get with this situation, the easier it's going to be down the road.
Yeah, good, not necessarily in the sense of that's
right.
What you want, but good test.
Right.
To really kind of see what he's about. Third breaking pitch, and that one a strike. 2-1. Herbers has inherited 5 runners this year. Only 1 has scored.
Well, they're looking at it as, again, if we walk him, he's on first base, no big deal. Got a guy coming up that really hasn't seen a whole lot of plate appearances this year, so.
A fourth breaking pitch. That one fouled away. So Krambeck yet to see a fastball. It's 2-2. Krambeck hitting, as you saw, 175. He did go 4 for 12 with 3 doubles against Air Force last weekend out in Colorado Springs. So guy that's had a little bit of a recent good turn of the plate. Straight fastball lifted in the air to right. It is twisting foul, and it will be out of play. Dom Hughes gave it a look, but it was going to be out of reach for him.
Right side's battling in the sun a little bit.
Yep.
See the glasses on some of the guys out there.
This ballpark faces off to the northeast. So those guys you see there, especially Sperlin, Carinci, and Hughes, first base, second base, and right field, are looking directly into the sun. You can see them holding the gloves up as they look back into the plate. Herber's lost the handle on that pitch. It's 3-2.
There's a difference too, because they're in the sun's right in their face, but the hitter is in shadows. And when you're playing, you see everything, and there's just glares. You just don't see it very good, and that's what's hard about until that sun gets below that the stadium, it's going to be difficult.
Breaking ball stays up. Another walk. So 3 walks in this inning by K-State pitchers have loaded the bases for the number 9 hitter and the catcher, Garrett Reese.
Well, this is what we were talking about earlier, from the timely hitting aspect. You have Reese, who hasn't had a whole lot of at-bats this year. He's put in a situation where he could drive in a couple runs with a base hit right here.
Reese is a true freshman and of Robbins, Iowa. Foul tips the first one he sees for a strike. Reese did not play in yesterday's game. Getting his first look at Herbers. Reese was active in 1 game over the weekend against Air Force. 0 for 1 with a strikeout. 0 for 6 on the season through his now 7 appearances. Good stop by Ceballos.
Great stop. That pitch wasn't even very close to him, so that was a really good job of keeping that ball in front of him and keeping SDSU off the board.
Falk at third, Beasley at second, Krambeck at first, all by virtue of a walk. Phillips still responsible for the runners at second and third. And the bottom drop out of it.
That was his best pitch so far right there.
Started in the zone, then fell to the ground. Fans trying to urge Herbers on. Struck him out. Jacks leave the bases loaded. Herbers gets the strikeout to get out of the jam on Big 12 Now.
Here's a razor that works differently. The Gillette Skin Guard. It has a guard between the blades that helps protect skin. The Gillette Skin Guard.
This is Goldest Carrot Publishing, a small business on Amazon, and the owner and author, Crystal Swain Bates.
Big Hair Don't Care is about a little girl who loves her big hair. I love knowing that my books are normalizing Black girl magic and brown boy joy.
More than half of everything sold on Amazon comes from small and medium-sized businesses like Goldest Carrot Publishing, and you can find them on Amazon.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
On Big 12 now on ESPN Plus, back at Twenton Family Stadium. Spring break in the Little Apple. And it is definitely spring-like weather here today. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees. Will be a little cooler this weekend for baseball here on Big 12 now, with Eastern Michigan coming into town. In the meantime, fans taking advantage of the rare heat wave, so to speak, out enjoying this good weather. Second game of a 9-game homestand. To the third, or bottom of the second we go. Dylan Phillips, who started the game as the pitcher, now will be the designated hitter. Will get his first at bat, and he'll swing and miss for strike one. Phillips running a 10-game hitting streak into play today. That has seen his batting average raise up nearly 75 points. Riley McSherry back out for another inning of work after working around a 2-out infield single. And a strike on the outer corner makes it 1-2.
Dylan didn't like that call. He thought that ball was off the plate.
1-2 is buried, 2-2.
Be interesting to see how Dylan handles himself at the plate from here on out, since he's, was pulled early on. You spend so much time preparing as a pitcher, before the game and thought process and things like that. Now that he's out, he's got to focus on straight hitting. So he's answered the bell.
He does that, right? Well, you and I were talking last night about Phillips, about the movement from last year where his average was down. He hit .238, but he had 10 homers. He had a lot of power, and developing as a hitter to become more of a guy that does that takes a low pitch and just drives it.
Well, he hits the ball so hard, so the more times he can limit himself from striking out, he's going to have a chance whenever he hits the ball. So, you anticipate, obviously, as he moves into sophomore, junior, senior year, that those strikeouts will be less and less, and he will become a better hitter. He needs to learn how to use a lot of the field from here on out.
Ceballos hunting for a hit deep in the hole. Long throw won't be in time. Ceballos able to get a fake the bunt, swing at it, infield single.
Well, that's not something you see every day out of Chris Ceballos. This is the type of thing that can get a hitter going right here. Just an infield hit. He's digging hard, legging it out. He needs something like that to get a sigh of relief. Okay, I'm 1 for 1 now. Let's go.
Such a great hitter that has struggled in the early going. 2 men on now for Willman. Let's see if he is bunting for the Wildcats. He is, and he gets it down. Only play for McSherry is first, with the second baseman covering. The sacrifice for Willman advances runners second and third with 1 out.
Not only was that a nice bunt, he deadened it enough. It was good base running by Dylan. Getting a good jump, seeing the read straight down. I was talking to Coach Hughes before the game, and he was saying that we really didn't have a chance to put pressure on their infielders. You talk about bunting and you talk about making the plays and things. It's all about putting pressure on the defense and getting that situation where somebody just messes up, and that could lead to 2 runs.
Jordan Maxson, Kansas kid that's on the roster, will take a breaking ball for strike 1. Out of Wichita, Kansas, May South High School, former Kansas Player of the Year and a first-team high school All-American. Maxson just 2 for 11 in 5 games this year. This is his 3rd start. Former catcher that mostly now plays outfield for K-State or as the designated hitter. But definitely one of those off-the-bus guys. 6 foot, 210, 215 pounds, and he's been
keeps getting bigger every year I see him too.
Big guy in the weight room. Swings and misses here at a slider. 1-2.
One thing he always has been, he's always been aggressive. I mean, he sees the pitches. Some of his, some of the pitches that he hasn't been able to get a hold of are the pitches that are a little up in the zone. We've talked about it before, but he's definitely aggressive.
Swings and misses at one down and away. That was buried, and he'll be thrown out at first base. So unable to get the ball in the air to try and get a run in, and the Cats will rely on Dom Hughes, one of Pete Hughes' sons, to try and get a 2-out RBIs. You see the nasty slider there from McSherry.
Good pitch, good block. Pitcher's got to have confidence that he can throw a ball in the dirt with the runner on third.
Dom Hughes getting his first career start today. And he'll take a pitch that just misses for ball one. Of course, his older brother Thomas was a member of the Wildcats last season. Thomas had a graduate year of eligibility left and used it to play shortstop for the Cats. Thomas now the volunteer at Morehead State. And Dom Hughes puts one into right center field. That'll find a hole. That'll get 2 runs in. And the first 2 RBI game of Dom Hughes' career gives K-State the early lead.
He's fired up too. Does a good job. Big situation right there. Trying to get the Cats on the board. 2 out hit. You know, getting a start today and ropes one into right center. Looked like he thought about going for 2 right there, which wouldn't have been a bad idea, but I think he made the right decision.
So just like that, K-State with the early lead, their first lead of the series, first time they've scored. And Kokoska now a second look at McSherry. And he'll take a pitch down.
You know, one thing I've noticed about Zach this year as compared to last year is that he's changed up his stance a little bit. Last year he was very closed, and he would use that to where he wasn't bailing or anything like that. So he switched it up. He's getting a little bit more, as you can see right there, a little bit more even. Remember, a couple of times last year he would almost step on the plate when he was when he was hitting. You know, he's a little bit more even this year.
Yeah, he did such a great job being able to reach that outside pitch, but it also may have prevented him from getting to the inside pitches. It's a good location for McSherry. 2-1. A look at Hughes at first, who has the ability to run, but with 2 outs, we'll wait and see in the play from his dad over at third. 3 for 9 on the young season now as Dom Hughes in limited time. And Hughes takes off on 1 down in the dirt. Swipe tag is going to get him at second. That'll end the inning. K-State's leadoff hitter, Kokoska, will be back at the plate when they come to the plate in the third. But Hughes provides the 2-out RBIs, and the Cats are up 2-0.
Free one-day delivery, video, music, and more. With Prime.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases. Just think about the miles you can earn on things like gifts.
Should I continue?
No, I want to hear this. Or a rental tux with a handsome cummerbund. Double miles on all of it.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles. Anyone else speak now?
One more thing. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
A shot on the beautiful Flint Hills here in the Manhattan, Kansas area. Beautiful part of the country. Kansas State up 2-0 on Big 12 Now and ESPN Plus after a 2 RBI base hit from Dom Hughes that last half inning. And now we head to the third. Top of the order, Landon Badger up for the first time to take on Zach Herbers, who came in to get the final out of the second inning. He faced 2 batters. So Badger, McDonald, and Brown, the top three in the order, to face the right-hander, Zach Herbers. And our first pitch that gets a swing and a miss from Badger. Again, that pitch dropping like a changeup looked like there from Zach Herbers.
It's so important for K-State to get back in the dugout now. You just get 2 runs. Nice 1-2-3 inning right here. Suit them well.
Herbers has thrown a lot of off-speed stuff here in his short time out on the mound. One for 5 now is Badger in the series. Big 2 RBI base hit with 2 outs in the 4th inning yesterday. Pitch was up. Stays 0-2. After today, the Wildcats will host Eastern Michigan for 3 games over the weekend. The temperatures will not be quite as nice as they are today. Supposed to get down into the 50s. Chance of rain on Friday. Potential of snow Saturday morning. Game's not till the afternoon. Strike 3 call to the outside corner. That has been given all game long by Dean Carson at home plate, and it gives Herbers his 2nd strikeout.
Well, if they're going to give it to you, you might as well keep throwing it there. Pitch was looking to be a little bit off the plate, but got to make the adjustment.
Ryan McDonald flied out to center in his first at bat. The pitch cracks the bit of Ceballos high for ball 1. Boy, after K-State scored a couple of runs, Pete Hughes, who's in the background of that shot, when you see McDonald, sure wants nothing more than to see Herbers go out and get a quick 1-2-3 inning if possible. Try and carry some of that momentum. But Herbers misses with 3 pitches high. He's missed high a lot, and it's 3-0.
Some of his breaking balls were missing a little bit high, so you don't know if it's fatigue. You know, he's only thrown 18 pitches, but it's probably more mechanical than anything.
McDonald likely taking all the way, and ball 4. Already the 4th walk of the game by K-State pitching, who came into today with a Big 12 leading still ERA of 2.21, which ranks 9th nationally.
I'd like to see the infield get involved right here. Maybe a ground ball, potential double play. See how the middle infielders work.
Off-speed pitch to Brown is a strike. Chop towards third. Thompson will look at second, then throw to first. Seen a couple of turf big bounces here today at the ballpark.
Yeah, not much you can do there. Just take the out where you can get it. If you try to rush that throw over to second base, you might throw it into right field. So just get the out. You got 2 outs now. Just get out of the inning. I really feel like, I mean, seeing Cam last night, I really feel like his arm has gotten a lot stronger since moving over to the third base area.
Really has seemed to be settled into that position. Started the year at shortstop. In his career, he began at center field. Well, that caught the helmet of Falk. Another breaking ball that Herbers just could not quite contain. And so another runner given a free pass. 2 on, 2 out.
He's not getting out in front of that pitch. You see a lot of spinners that are backing up on him, and you see that one. Good thing he's okay.
Kind of dotted the eye there. Falk made it worse by ducking down. Caught it on the back of the helmet. Seems to be all right, but he's on for the second time. 2 on, 2 out for Drew Beasley, who walked in his first plate appearance. Inside fastball fouled away. Now back to Thompson. He started his career as a center fielder at K-State. Some time at second base as well. Then to short. And Pete Hughes had him over to third base. toward the end of last year, and that seems to have been the home for him.
True definition of a gamer. Just put me wherever.
Kind of a quiet guy, goes about his business. Ball gets away from Ceballos, and McDonald, alert base running from him, goes from second to third. So a wild pitch has runners now at the corners.
Really good read right there. Not only did he have a good read, but got a great jump. Whenever that ball moves to the right of the catcher when it's second base, it's hard for the catcher to go right and then grab it and come back left. Good job. And some, people may say like, well, there's still 2 outs. You still need a hit to get him in. It puts a little bit more pressure on the pitcher, keeping that ball out of the dirt. Pass ball scores them. So, the more times you can put pressure on the defense from a base running standpoint, the better you're going to be.
Backhand stop by Ceballos, but now 3-1. Herbers just has not looked comfortable up on the mound for K-State since he came into the game. And he misses here for ball 4. The bases are loaded for the second straight inning.
He's struggling a little bit with his mechanics. You could tell he's battling himself a little bit. He just needs to bear down right here, regroup. Make a couple good pitches.
Ryan McDonald at third, Falk at second, Beasley at first, and Buck Taylor on his way to the mound to visit with Zach Herbers.
I thought Buck was actually going to come out the last walk that he had, or when he hit Falk, because obviously, like I said, he's battling himself with something. His release point is not there.
Nobody warming in the bullpen at the moment, so K-State has no options to go to. And now, as I say that, Eric Torres, who faced one batter and got 2 pitches to get an out, is now going to jump up in the left field bullpen. Buck Taylor trying to buy some time here. He'll wait for Dean Carson to come out and break this up. There's Dean. He's probably thinking, man, he made me walk all the way out here. I can just spin around and go right back.
Sometimes that's done on purpose.
Yep.
Sometimes a coach may want to talk to him and say, hey, where was that pitch? Not in this case, but.
Well, the battle now between Ira and Herbers. First pitch is low for ball 1. Ira had a 6-game hitting streak going into last night before an 0-for-4 evening against K-State, but still has driven in 6 over his last 7 games. Trying to answer back after K-State's 2 runs last half inning. Gift of a strike on the outside corner.
K-State's gotten themselves in this situation a couple times so far this game, so they can't keep going on and expect to get out of them every time.
One is shot towards center, but right at Kokoska, and the liner is caught to end the inning for the second straight frame. The Jacks leave the bases loaded. K-State up 2-0 on Big 12 now.
Capital One knows life doesn't update you about your credit card. So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong and helps you fix them. Another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
At tax time, big wireless companies play games to lock you into a pricey contract. Don't play. Straight Talk now has the Samsung Galaxy A10e for just $99 on America's best networks for up to half the cost and no contract. Straight Talk Wireless.
Back on Big 12 now on ESPN Plus. Brian Smolder, Craig Wilson back with you here from Tointon Family Stadium. At the outset of the game, you outlined the keys to victory for these two teams. It's only been a couple of innings, but so far, what's your takeaway on how these teams have measured up?
Well, from a timely hitting standpoint for SDSU, they've had some opportunities, but like last night, they were able to come through. Tonight's a little bit different story. They're putting themselves in good situations, but they haven't been able to get that hit yet. And as far as Kansas State goes, I mean, I wouldn't say they're necessarily getting after it offensively yet. But they did get that big hit from Dom Hughes to put them on the board and get a 2-0 lead.
If anything, it maybe helps them forget about last night to get the 2 runs and be able to stack some things together. We'll see how it works in this inning with Kokoska to lead it off, leadoff man for K-State. You can see the 2-0 lead for the Wildcats. Kokoska was at the plate when Dom Hughes, perhaps ill-advisedly, tried to take second. It was thrown out to end the inning, but it does mean K-State's leadoff hitter leads off the third. Kokoska, Carinci, Thompson all due up. Riley McSherry hasn't necessarily been perfect. He's allowed 4 hits in the first 2 frames against K-State, but only 2 runs. Kokoska golfs one out towards right center field. He's got good power, and this one will fly over the wall for a home run. Zach Kokoska with his first homer of the season and his 9th as a Wildcat.
Well, that first homer was a big one right there. That ball was absolutely crushed. Deepest part of the field. You could tell off the bat it was, I mean, it looked good, right? But, I mean, it's deep out there, so you wondered if he was going to have some room to make a play, but got on the board with a big one.
So Zach Kokoska has the first long ball of the 2-game set. And the Wildcats lengthen their lead to 3-0. See Kokoska still talking about that one in the dugout as Daniel Carinci steps in. Off the end of the bat, a 1-0 sent out to left center field. Ranging over is Badger, and he'll make the grab for out number 1.
Zach's probably saying, like, I don't know what took so long to get that first one. Because he does. He has tremendous power. He just hasn't been able to run into one yet. You'll see a few more of those this year.
Well, if you're a left-handed batter, they always say down and in is where you really, that's where you want it, right?
Right. That ball jumped, as we talked about it earlier with the, some of the warmer weather. Ball carried good. I was watching batting practice today too. There were some balls flying out, and they weren't just creeping over. So you could tell that the ball is definitely carrying better than it was last night.
Cam Thompson already extended his hitting streak to 5 straight. Oh boy, I don't know where that pitch missed. That looked pretty good. That's 2-0. Hitters count for Thompson. Couldn't hold up on a one away from him. 2-1. Thompson during this 5-game stretch where he's hit in all 5 games. You see some activity beginning for South Dakota State in their bullpen. Thompson is 8 for 19 with 5 doubles. Count even at 2.
Yeah, he was a double machine at Stanford.
4 doubles out at Stanford, 6 for 18 in the series. Too far outside. Full count to Thompson, who with Kokoska has split time as the leadoff hitter for K-State.
I don't know if you noticed it right there. There was a little bit of a quick pitch. He didn't go into his normal motion. He tried to catch Cam off guard right there, but by doing so, rushed his delivery and threw a ball.
Normal windup this time, but he walked him. First walk issued by McSherry. 1-out runner for the Wildcats for Terrence Sperlin.
We'll see here if K-State's aggressive and tries to get Cam a stolen base, get a runner in scoring position for Sperlin and Phillips.
Sperlin struck out on 3 pitches. After the first pitch, a hanging breaking ball that he sends to center field. Back is Badger, and he makes the run on the warning track. And back to first heads Cam Thompson. So Sperlin flirts with a long ball. And there are 2 outs.
He got a good pass at it. I couldn't tell, live, but it looked like he might have caught it a little bit off the end of the bat. So just enough to keep the ball in the park.
Dylan Phillips ripped a single to right field his first time at the plate. He started today's game on the mound, went just an inning and 2/3. Pitch down and breaking is Thompson. He'll swipe second base. Looked like he took off before the pitch ever bounced to home plate.
It appeared to be more of a delayed steal than an actual just read. It's so hard for the catcher to see something like that with the left-handed hitter up. So delay steals happen a lot more with left-handed hitters because, one, it's hard for the catcher to throw because you're throwing over them or on the side of them. So now they have a runner in scoring position. Big hit right here. Gets another one.
Phillips, the 11-game hitting streak. 3 for 4 in this brief 2-game set against South Dakota State.
Ooh.
And he destroys one out to right field. No need to check this one. It is up against Brandon Bering, a 2-run homer for Dylan Phillips.
That was a no-doubter right off the bat. You could tell he sat on it, stayed back, got his hands out in front of that pitch, and, man, he smacked it.
Utterly destroyed by Dylan Phillips. Oh, and he knew it.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a hanger, like you said earlier. Pitch coming right into a left-handed hitter. That's exactly where they like it. That was a no-doubter right off the bat.
4th homer of the year for Phillips, 14th of his K-State career. And the sophomore puts K-State up 5-0. Now Ceballos trying to join in the fray. Chops one third base side. Could he get another infield hit? And no, as he runs to first. Very close, and I think K-State wants to review this. Hold on, K-State. And I think they are indeed going to call South Dakota State back out on the diamond, as Pete Hughes immediately signaled that they wanted to check and have a replay on this. And they will review to see if Ceballos was indeed safe at first or not.
Well, I'll tell you what, this goes even beyond him being safe or out, right? Because you got a coaching staff now that is trying to get Ceballos going. Okay, get him another hit, challenge it, let him know you have his back. Looked like it might have been a tie. I mean, it's close.
Well, the umpires are down underneath in the tunnel looking at that.
I got him safe.
I think he's safe. I think you're right.
Yep, I got him safe.
Well, that would be 2 infield hits for the catcher, Chris Ceballos, on the day. And he would take those in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm sure there's been some balls that he's hit hard this year that he's waiting for some even out.
So we talked about these last night, but if you're new to college baseball, in the NCAA, coaches are allowed 2 challenges during the game. In the last 2 innings of regulation and extra innings, the crew chief of the umpire can also on their own decide to review a play if a coach is out of challenges, or if they just decide, hey, it's close, let's do it ourselves and not have a coach have to ask. But being safe at first is one of the plays that can be decided on or reviewed.
Chris is going to have to ice his hamstrings after this game, taking out these things, you know?
Well, I'm sure he'll get a lot of grief from his teammates about beating out 2 infield singles.
Yeah.
Chris is the first to tell you he is not necessarily fleet of foot. 6 foot 250 is what he is listed at. He's about 20 pounds heavier than he was a season ago, as all the guys have bulked up. And they, after review, do say indeed that he was safe.
Got to give the credit to the strength and conditioning coach right there.
That's right, Josh Sears.
Just enough.
So Ceballos beats it out. Pete Hughes, a successful challenge. Wildcats keep the inning going. And they have a runner at first with 2 outs. Cameron Willman, who had a sacrifice bunt in his first plate appearance, is the 7th man to bat in this inning. And he'll take a straight fastball for strike 1.
You know, we were talking about it just before this inning. You know, Cats getting on offensively, right? This is what we had in mind when you talk about offensively, getting after it. Some good swings, getting good pitches to hit.
It's not always the long ball, though, that, I mean, it is in this inning, but just good swings, period. Now, it led to home runs, right?
More about at-bats, really. I mean, getting good passes, you know, not swinging at bad pitches, being patient. It all revolves into one. I mean, you could be aggressive without actually swinging. Just being ready to swing is being aggressive. So, and not missing the pitch when you get it.
Willman rips one into left field for a base hit on an 0-2 pitch. By the way, Zach Kokoska's home run, we haven't got the details yet, but this new analytics stuff, K-State is able to put out some numbers. The Zach Kokoska home run went 405 feet with an exit velocity of 103 miles an hour.
Nice. I like that stat.
Hang time of 4.95 seconds. Launch angle of 26 degrees, if you're into that sort of stuff. Some of that you don't even know, like is that good or not? Exit velocity, they say the MLB average is 105. So his was 103.
Not bad. Not
Pretty
bad.
good.
I wish we had it when I was playing. It's a couple balls that were hit here in the stadium by some of the guys that were on our team and some of the guys that were not on our team that I would have liked to seen what that. I have to believe, you know, Mike Bush back in Iowa State, the ball he hit in one of our games had to exit at about 150. I mean, it was. I think that thing's still going.
Hey,
so
listen,
I would love
the older bats.
Yeah.
That you now, not discounting anything you guys did because you still got to pitch it and hit it. But the older aluminum bats before the new standards that were in place, some of those may have broken the track band statistics, right? I mean, the exit velo on some of those were.
It was fine. I mean, you know, it was. It just, you know, it was all even, so everybody was swinging the same thing. But yeah, the balls did jump a little bit.
Jordan Maxson now the batter. He'll take one away for ball 1. Still waiting for the final analysis on Dylan Phillips' home run, because I'm going to guess that one went a little farther than Kokoska's 405. The 1-0 pitch here to Maxson, and McSherry stepping off. Well, McSherry flirted with danger the first 2 innings, but for the most part remained unscathed outside of the Dom Hughes 2 RBI base hit, but that got it all kicked off. And second time through, the Wildcats have feasted on McSherry. Maxson doesn't trigger on the pitch. It's 1-1. There is activity behind him. We saw that earlier in the South Dakota State bullpen. Looks like Nate Steenblock that's up, left-hander. And looks like someone may join him. And the slider's giving Maxson some fits. 1-2.
Yeah, he needs to make sure he's looking for the ball up in the zone. He's chasing those low pitches down and away. He needs to refocus, get the ball up in the zone, get a pitch that he can actually handle.
Best pitch right here, kid.
And lays off that pitch, 2-2. All right, so here are the numbers on Dylan Phillips. Exit velocity 106.
Yeah, all right.
But 389 feet, so not as far as Kokoska.
Or on a line.
Yeah. Hang time just 4 seconds, 60 feet for the apex, and 23-degree launch angle.
All sounds good. The result was good.
That's right. Still a ball over the fence and a 2-run homer. 106 miles per hour off the bat of Phillips. And it looked like that as well. I mean, it was torched. 2-2, skips away from the catcher for a moment. Ceballos reading it right. It's to third. Hey, he's feeling the wheels right now.
He is. Like I said, that hot tub ready. He'll be in it tonight after catching a full game and legging out some things like he's been doing. Good read. He noticed he noticed he couldn't find the ball, so that's when he took off. So, and Willman would have gone to second base, but he had to wait on Ceballos, so by that time it was too late.
Maxson fouls it off. Ceballos, being a catcher, probably knew the feeling, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just so hard, you know. I mean, you're in a squat position. You go down to block the ball, then the ball bounces up. You got to find it. You got to pick it clean and make a good throw.
That slider caught a little bit more of the plate than I'm guessing McSherry wanted. Yep. Fouled away. Maxson's starting to swing out of his uniform there.
He is. He blew out a button. Going straight, no undershirt on there too.
McSherry, defensive grab on the ground ball coming right back at him. Maxson robbed of a hit, but K-State torches him for 3 runs. Couple of long balls by the Wildcats have them up 5 on Big 12 now.
Hey, you gonna do this or what? You gotta do it. And keep doing it. Do it big. Hit it. Step it up. Always take the risk. Don't just watch it. Put your phone down and do it. Drip splash like the ice on the wrist. That's a call I can't miss. Do what they say you can't. Because there are those who don't and those who do. Let's do.
It's time to bring on the Cats. Thompson is it again. And he just might do it again. Touchdown. Leaps, gets spun around. Now is going to be sacked. The whole nation is watching Manhattan, Kansas. Touchdown. That's how you say hello.
And education is life itself. This is your time. So go out and make it your own.
5-0 K-State, thanks to a couple of home runs in the bottom of the third. We head to the top of the fourth now with the Wildcats in front and a new pitcher on the mound for K-State as we go to the top of the fourth inning. Eric Torres is in. Threw just 2 pitches in last night's game, retiring the only batter he faced, so a chance for him to get some more action on the mound. Torres, one of the main weekend relievers for K-State that had a rough go about 2 weeks ago down at Rio Grande Valley, but since then has pitched 3 straight outings, 3 innings, no hits, 1 walk. So that 9.82 ERA spiked by 1 outing where he allowed 4 runs and did not record an out. But since that time, he's been the Torres that K-State has expected to see. A guy that had a under 4 ERA in nearly 20 games of relief last year. He'll take over for Zach Herbers here in the 4th and get the bottom third of the order.
Yeah, stats early on are tough to read because, like you just said, 1 outing just kills a whole ERA. You know, some guys are hitting 227. You know they're better than 227. It's early.
Carson Max flat out to left field in the 2nd inning. The last batter that Dylan Phillips faced. It's a fastball here for a strike. Torres is going to sit about 88 miles an hour with a fastball. Has a splitter to go along with a slider and a curve. And he can run it up to 91 if needed.
Well, you could already tell he looks a little tough on the left-handers because of his release point. He's throwing across his body. It's a little tougher for a left-handed hitter to pick up.
He gets Max with an off-speed pitch and strikes out the first batter he faces.
He's going to find himself in a lot of situations where he's coming in relief to face left-handed hitters like this. So it's good that he's getting some work. And as you can see, ran a couple fastballs up on the outer side of outer part of the plate, and then he ends up coming back with that little slider slurve. It really doesn't hurt the fact that he could run it up there 89, 90 miles an hour too.
Now, Torres came to K-State with a guy that was throwing in the middle 80s, like 84, 85.
Strength and conditioning, yeah.
Yep, and then once he got here, just kind of added to the frame, and then last season hit 92 on the gun at some place, and all of a sudden K-State was like, whoa, what do we have here all of a sudden?
Right. Well, you get, kids mature a little bit, they get a little stronger.
Oh, he is mowing them down right now. Eric Torres looking very much the part of a guy that is a key reliever on the weekends.
Credit Buck too. I mean, a lot of it is mechanics. I mean, getting the most out of your body, right? Getting the most out of your mechanics, and just doing it the right way can add 2-3 miles an hour to your fastball.
That's a great point. 6 foot, 195 pounds. It's not like Torres is really tipping the scales, not like a Casey Ford or a Carson Seymour, or just big guys. But having strength coaches that work with film, and K-State's got all this new technology that they have for their pitching staff to be able to really break it down and go through repeatable motions and slim down mechanics. And right now he is just pumping anything he wants to home plate and getting strikes.
He's really, the left-handers are really having a tough time picking that slider up. Wouldn't be surprised if they go back to it or try to run one up in the zone.
See if Reese would chase. He did not. Reese struck out his first time up against Herbers with the bases loaded in the second. The inning, or the outing that Torres allowed those 4 runs, he did not allow a hit. It was all walks and hit by pitches, and then subsequent pitchers after him that allowed the runs in. Strike 3 called. Torres strikes out the side. What an outing by Eric Torres. And K-State with all the momentum on Big 12 Now.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases. Just think about the miles you can earn on things like gifts.
Should I continue?
No, I want to hear this. Or a rental tux with a handsome cummerbund. Double miles on all of it.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles. Anyone else speak now?
One more thing. What's in your wallet?
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside every Marine. Battles won.
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's her first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing. But how will we... The closing!
I did it.
Do you see how it's...
That's it.
We did it.
You did it. You can do it.
The path to I did it starts at AutoZone. Get in the zone.
5-0 lead for the Wildcats thanks to a couple of home runs. Their last time at the plate, Eric Torres to the right of your screen just came in and struck out the side against South Dakota State. So K-State feeling all sorts of good vibes as they come to the plate here in the bottom of the fourth. The sun has finally set, at least beyond Toynton Family Stadium, so the fielders are no longer looking back into the sun. The lights are on but haven't quite taken effect as you see a scattered crowd here on a nice pleasant night in the Little Apple. Dom Hughes to lead it off, the number 9 hitter. Take a nice sweeping look at Toynton Family Stadium, that Seidlinger family playground there in the background.
Got a great view of the football stadium right now too with the sun hitting it.
Everything beyond the park lit up in gold with that setting sun on a clear night. A little bit of a breeze from time to time blowing out to left field. Dom Hughes so far got it all started with a two out, 2 RBI base hit back in the second against Riley McSherry. He'll take a strike to begin his at bat here in the fourth. McSherry still in there as South Dakota State tries to preserve some pitching before their weekend.
You can tell Dom's ready to go. He's ready to hit.
And no surprise, he has got a little bit of gumption, shall we say, in his blood, taken after his dad. Breaking ball stays down and in, 1-1. Big weekend series coming up for South Dakota State, by the way, as you wonder why. Okay, 5-0. Why is McSherry still in there? Oral Roberts, pick to win the league, is next up for South Dakota State, and that is down in Tulsa as they finish off this 23-game road swing to open up play.
Well, he's going to be a starter, so you want to get his pitch count up a little bit. You want him to be able to get in that starter mentality, you know. So I wouldn't be surprised if they run him up 75 pitches or so.
Yep, good point. Again, down 2 starters are the Jacks. Tyler Olmstead, McKay also out for the year, or at least not healthy at the moment. Hughes thrown out to open up the inning, and last time up, Zach Kokoska got a 3-run inning started with this epic blast to center field. Kokoska's drive 405 feet just to the right of the batter's eye in center field.
That's an aggressive swing right there. He really looked good on that one.
McSherry will do his best to stay away from down and in. Long look in for McSherry. A little farther down, trying to see if Kokoska would chase. He did not. Is it just me, or is there the smell of popcorn wafting through here? Oh, it's almost torturous.
It is.
How strong it is in this booth right now.
About 2 innings ago, I was wanting to get my hands on some of that.
Somebody put the popcorn popper right by the air conditioner or the vents, because it is coming through strong.
Well, and you can look, if you just look right behind too, you see the Bavarian
soft
pretzels.
The pretzels
working.
in the club.
It's torturous, isn't it?
Kokoska was looking for another one right there.
Yeah, a good pitch, 2-0 right there. Just took a little bit off. Kokoska was out in front.
So a 5-game hit streak for Kokoska. He's reached in 16 of the 17 games this season, 16 in a row. See, he is choked up a little bit there as he grounds one to second. Brown will toss out his second batter this inning.
That was a good sequence for McSherry. Went off speed, got Kokoska out front, came back with a fastball, tied him up.
0 for 2 day for Carinci, batting second today. He's been mostly a lower the order guy for the Wildcats this year. But he's continued to hit, so a chance today to hit in between Kokoska and Thompson to see if he can get the offense helped out. And he'll put one down the right field line, and that is into the corner. Carinci can fly. He's around first, and he'll hold up at second with a double. And for Carinci, that is his 5th double in the last 6 games.
Well, you can tell he's a tough out. You know, he puts the bat on the ball and squares it up. Did exactly what he was supposed to do. Pitched middle away. Not up in the zone, but not too far. He got on top of it. He smoked that ball.
Double last night for Carinci. Now he's got one here tonight. And he is 3 for 7 in the 2-game set. And a walk to the mound by Reese, the catcher, to visit with McSherry. We'll see if this is it for McSherry as he just looked to the dugout, so perhaps just buying a little bit of time here. And here comes Rob Bishop. And he will signal to the bullpen. And with the left-hander Cam Thompson coming up, looks like Steenblock is going to go ahead and come in and take over on the mound. So a pitching change being made by the Jacks. We'll tell you about Steenblock and give you McSherry's line when we return on Big 12 Now.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases. Just think about the miles you can earn on things like gifts.
Should I continue?
No, I want to hear this. Or a rental tux with a handsome cummerbund. Double miles on all of it.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles. Anyone else speak now?
One more thing. What's in your wallet?
The new Samsung Galaxy S20 5G has arrived at Sprint, and it's 5G ready. With a revolutionary camera, you can capture video and multiple pictures with one tap. Get it for just $0 a month. It's 5G ready.
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
5-0 K-State, already 9 hits on the board. And a pitching change being made here in the 4th inning as Riley McSherry's day is done. Nate Steenblock is now on the mound for South Dakota State. McSherry threw 66 pitches, so they went as long as they could to try and lengthen his outing. But after 9 hits, 5 runs in 3 2/3, Nate Steenblock will take over. The freshman from Des Moines, Iowa, former first-team All-State pick at a Dowling Catholic, which has produced a lot of Division I kids. Steenblock, 6 foot 180. You can see his numbers on the year. 7 innings. He's allowed just 2 runs. Walked 2, 5 strikeouts, an ERA of 2.57. His first appearance of this 2-game set. He will take over with a runner at second, 2 outs. And that runner is Daniel Carinci, who in his last at bat hit yet another double. Craig Wilson diagnosed this for us a little bit on what you called great hitting from Daniel Carinci.
Well, yeah, what he did was he let the ball travel deep, as you can see right there. Ball was middle away. When the ball's middle away, you have to let that ball get deep on you to be able to hit a ball like that. If you catch it out front, you hit it off the end of your bat, ground out shortstop, ground out the third. He did a really good job of letting that ball travel, kept his hands behind it, and hit a line drive down the right field line. That's really hard to teach. You know, that's just kind of natural ability.
Worked out great. Love to see that from Carinci, who has excelled coming from Alabama, where he was a reserve player and didn't get much time. Thompson, after the first pitch from Steenblock, will foul it back. Cam's been on twice. He extended his hitting streak to 5 straight with an infield single in the first, walked, stole a base, and scored in the third. The 0-1 is grounded foul. And Thompson down 0-2. Cam, like Carinci, has been on a doubles tear as of late. 5 doubles into this game in his last 4 games. Counting today, now 8 for his last 19, with 6 runs scored during this 5-game stretch. 0-2 pitch is flied out to left. A long run for Max, and he will not get it, and one hops its way over the wall. Add another run for the Wildcats and another double on the ledger for Thompson.
Well, at first glance, it didn't look like he hit the ball that well. It looked like it was going to be a flyout, but he got a little bit more than everybody thought. Night like tonight, ball's carrying a little bit. That's pretty good power for the opposite way.
No doubt. I think you can see Ira laughing in the background. But Cam may be saying the same thing. Like, I don't think I got that, but he'll take it. Double it an RBI for Thompson. His 9th of the season, and K-State lengthens their lead to 6 as Sperlin, hitless on the day and in the series, will stride to the plate after the first pitch fouls it off.
good to see out of Cam too. You know, lefty on lefty, stays in there, drives the ball to left center field, doing it the right way.
5 for 13 now on the year against left-handed pitching is
Pretty
Thompson.
Good.
Take that. Small sample size, granted, but good numbers nonetheless.
Well, the main thing is he's seeing it. You know, he's seeing it from the left hand. I mean, you know, even though it's early, you could tell he's seeing the ball well from a left-hander.
Two and one.
Sperlin's wanting to get in on some of this hitting.
So far, he's one of only 2 in the lineup without a hit.
Good eye right there. That's a tough pitch to lay off of when you're ready to hit.
Sperlin 0 for 8 this year against left-handers. And he hit him pretty well last season. 383 last season against left-handed pitching.
Good spot. Hitters count. Paint a pitch on the black. That's good job.
Well, 3 and 2. Let's see if McSherry, or excuse me, Steenblock will give him a fastball. Chopper off the mid of the pitcher, and no chance to get Sperlin. And a bit of bad luck for the Jacks.
Well, it's getting in on it one way, I guess.
That'll be ruled a hit. 10th hit of the game for K-State. And with 2 men on, Dylan Phillips comes to the plate. And what he did the last time up, he also, like Kokoska, hit a long shot over the fence. 2-run blast that was a no-doubter.
That's an analytics dream right there. I mean, he had that launch angle, nice follow through. It was a blast.
K-State has 2 home runs today, but they also have 4 infield singles. Now Phillips, who's already 2 for 2, gets a big bending curveball for strike 1. Freshman school record 10 home runs last season. Now 4 already this year. It's not a bad pitch from Steenblock.
Oh, and you like to see him lay off those type of pitches, because I remember a few times last year he had a lot of passive swings and chasing those, so you could tell he's learning. He's going through, you know, the process and everything of getting those at bats and laying off those pitches.
You know, they hit him 67 miles an hour. Boy, Steenblock really trying to mix with the speeds. Getting that slow bender to plate against Phillips. Goes back to the curveball, and Phillips goes back to Brandeberry.
I almost said it. First pitch, it almost looked like he was sizing that up. Sizing the first curveball up. He threw it. Steenblock threw the first pitch. It was just a big sweeper. He watched it all the way in, waited for it to come back, and he got it.
A 2-homer game for the 3rd time in his career, and another no-doubter. And it didn't quite get to Brandenberry, but at least into the visitors' bullpen off the back wall. And Dylan Phillips has driven in 5 in his last 2 at-bats.
His at-bats over the last 2 nights have looked really good.
And now Ceballos trying to bid for a 3-hit night.
Let's just hope he hits a line drive this time, right?
That's right.
That way he could just kind of pimp it down to first base.
Ceballos doesn't want any more infield hits. K-State with 10 hits on the board for the 5th time in the last 9 games. So their offense starting to come around. And if you pair that with what is the Big 12's best pitching staff, boy, things begin to look pretty rosy for K-State. Strike to Ceballos to 2-2. I mentioned it at the outset, but K-State came into today 9-1 when they score 4 runs in a game.
Well, and that's got to be confidence for the hitters, right? You don't have to go out and feel like you have to score 10 runs in order to win a game. So, you know, as long as they could get something going, manufacture runs, you know, get some home runs by Phillips and Kokoska and Ceballos, you know, they're not going to need a whole lot, hopefully.
Ball 4, Ceballos works the walk. So he's been on base all 3 plate appearances. All this happening with 2 outs. And Cameron Willman, who singled in the 3rd inning but was stranded and is 1 for 1 with a sac bunt, will get a chance to hit. After the first pitch, he'll punch one through the left side again.
He's killing that hole over there.
13 hits for K-State in the first 3 2/3 of this ball game, 9 on the board. And Jordan Maxson, yet without a hit, the only Wildcat in the lineup without a hit, will be the 9th man to bat in the inning. As you see, Willman at first, Ceballos at second with 2 outs, and Maxson's 3rd at bat. His first against Steenblock. See if Maxson can unleash himself and unlock himself at the plate. Well, that's a good fastball. And I'm with Garrett Reese. I think I'd be turning around asking where that was as well. Dean Carson said no. Been a couple of those both ways, both sides, that have been a little bit questionable. That one skipped in. Good stop by Reese. 2-1. The 2-out double by Carinci got this all started. Thompson followed with an RBI double. Sperlin the infield single off the mid of the pitcher. Then Phillips a no doubt 3-run homer over the right field wall. Walk to Ceballos, the single to Willman. 2-1 to Maxson. This one grabbed by Steenblock. That's back-to-back groundouts up the middle by Maxson that pitchers have snagged. But Dylan Phillips with a titanic 3-run homer, his 2nd of the day. The Cats up 9 on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Capital One knows life doesn't update you about your credit card. So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong and helps you fix them. Another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing. But how will we... The closing!
Kansas State up 9-0 as we bring you to a look at the Big 12 scoreboard. What else is going on in the conference? Oklahoma State put up a hurting on St. Louis last night, 20 runs. They're up 7-1 at the moment. Iowa takes 2 from the Jayhawks in the midweek. Tough loss for the Big 12 there. West Virginia up on Liberty. Texas Tech led early last night against Mississippi State. But they rallied and won late 8-3 against the number 3 ranked Red Raiders. Texas up 2-0. Their first game of the midweek against ACU and Baylor and Dallas Baptist, a team that is ranked in the top 25, tied in the bottom of the third. Here are the updated standings. After that loss to Tech last night, the Red Raiders fall to 16-2. K-State trying to join the group of 7 that have double-figure wins if they can hold on to this 9-0 lead currently. Eric Torres back to work. Torres struck out the side for K-State in his only inning of work in the 4th. That seemed like yesterday after that very long bottom of the 4th inning. And first pitch swinging, Landon Badger puts a hit into left center field that will get all the way to the wall. Badger digging for 2, round second, thinks about 3, but will hold up there. And that is the first hit of the season allowed by Eric Torres.
Well, it wasn't that bad of a pitch. He just, Badger went down and got it, shot it into the gap for the first hit of the night.
Badger's 3rd double. He's in scoring position for Ryan McDonald. First hit of the game for South Dakota State. As McDonald walked and was stranded his last time up. And he'll take a fastball for a strike. Hard to believe a pitcher with an ERA of 9.82, even as we mentioned, Torres has been really effective outside of one outing, but even with an ERA of that, he had not allowed a hit yet this season.
Well, that's almost a good sign, right? Everything was self-inflicted, and you tell the hitters are having trouble seeing him. He's making some good pitches. He just ran into some self-inflicted problems that night.
Pitch down low from Torres, 1-1. All right, so Dylan Phillips' second home run. 371 feet, exit speed of 100.2 miles an hour. 25-degree launch angle, 4.07 hang time.
Got jammed compared to the last one.
That's right.
You know?
Strike 2 is, comparative to the other home run that was 389 and a 106 exit speed.
Better placement on the second one.
Ground ball to short. That'll keep the runner at second. And a nice scoop by Sperlin on the low throw from Willman. 1 out. Look at it here with Willman.
Good job. Looks like he tried to rush that throw a little bit. First baseman picks him up. Good dig by Sperlin.
Sperlin, who came to K-State initially as a catcher, then a third baseman, really had not ever played first until Pete Hughes arrived, moved him over there, and he has played very well defensively at first base. All conference honors last year.
With a very confident scoop, looked like. You can tell he's played some other positions.
A good defensive first baseman will take you a long way. You know, it used to be in times past, guys maybe playing rec softball or whatever else. You put a big lumbering guy over at first. You don't put a good fielder over there.
Yeah, good first baseman will save infielders' errors throughout the year. They really will.
Torres trying to put another 0 on the scoreboard. Braden Brown has grounded out twice. Late on that pitch. Oh, big Casey Ford getting a little loose in the bullpen for K-State. Again, the Wildcats will try and cycle in some guys before the weekend. One of the 3 captains for the Wildcats is Ford.
And he is big.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Torres.
Snuck a fastball in there. He's late on a couple pitches before that. Tied him up in the inside corner.
Torres has struck out 4 of the 6 he's faced. Josh Falk, who has reached twice with a walk and a hit by pitch, gets his first look at Torres. Take strike one.
I think Torres would fall in the category of, sneaky. He doesn't look like he's throwing real hard, but the ball's jumping on him. It's a little deceiving.
When you're looking at the velocity, though our gun shows 84. Now, the board shows 88. But it's pretty clear that the hitters are not getting a good read because they are very late.
Looks more of an 88 than an 84.
It's fouled away. That says 92 up on the scoreboard. Again, 88 on our gun.
Yeah, about a 4-mile-an-hour discrepancy. Right hand's not working with the left. Well, you always used to hear about the ray gun and the jugs gun, and there's a discrepancy because it picks up the ball at different spots. So
trying to elevate on him.
Yeah, I noticed when I played eons ago, the miles per hour was just coming out in the scoreboard, and it was kind of funny because you'd see a lot of pitchers, they throw a pitch, they turn around and see how hard they were throwing. Everybody wanted to know.
It's a pitch that has been called a strike much of the night. Only consistent from time to time. That was not rung up there.
It's a good spot.
That'd be tough for Falk to go down and get, no doubt. Full count. Will Falk earn yet another free pass? Struck him out. Torres has 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. And despite giving up the first hit of the season for him, he maintains the shutout, headed to the bottom of the 5th.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated. But 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win found inside every Marine. Battles won.
At Toyton Family Stadium, the second game and final game of this 2-game set against South Dakota State, and the Wildcats with a 9-0 lead here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Back once more into the Mike Clark broadcast booth. Brian Smoller, Craig Wilson with you. And boy, K-State talking about a bounce back from last night. 9 runs, 13 hits in their first 4 plate appearances. Pretty good offense here by the Cats.
They've responded well. I mean, exactly what they needed to do. They had a bad night last night. They've come out, they scored 2, 3, and 4 in the last 3 innings. So they're back on track.
Yep, and the K-State pitchers, despite allowing the first hit of the game, that last half inning, have maintained the shutout. Eric Torres electric in his last half inning. Now we'll see what the Cat Bats can do again here in the bottom of the 5th as they come to the plate once more. And really, what are you looking for now the rest of the game, even though you're up 9 if you're K-State?
Yeah, you hope the pitching staff is going to keep doing what they're doing, right? Keep throwing zeros up, keep going after hitters. You got a 9-run lead. So, but as a hitting unit, I mean, moving into Big 12 play and moving on, this part of the season, you don't want to take your foot off the gas. You want to get your good at-bats. You want to get into a rhythm. So when you hit Big 12 play, you're feeling pretty good about yourself.
John Baker has not pitched yet this season, but will get his first appearance of the year here tonight. We saw this last night. 2 pitchers that hadn't pitched all season for South Dakota State were inserted into the game, and now Baker becomes the next South Dakota State pitcher who has not yet thrown this year to take over. Nate Steenblock went a third of an inning and allowed 3 runs on 4 hits in the 6 batters that he faced. So he'll depart, and a clean inning for John Baker to open up with against Dom Hughes. And one of the bigger hits of the night with a 2-out, 2 RBI single back in the second to get all the scoring started. Couple of fastballs up in the zone to Dom Hughes for John Baker. Out of Minnesota, 2-time all-conference pick out of Cloquet, Minnesota. I think that's how you say that. I'm just guessing.
Sounds good.
This time over the top fastball is in. 2-1. If the Wildcats score another run and get to double figures in runs scored, the Wildcats would then have scored 10 runs 4 times in their last 8 games. So really starting to put some things together.
I thought you were going to say it was like free burgers for everybody.
Oh, no.
You know? That's where we're going.
We have that promotion on the list. There are some promotions that are food related, but that was not one of them. We'll have to talk with the fan experience and marketing staff to see if that can be one included. 3-1 pitches up. Tom Hughes a walk to open up the 5th inning. I can remember years ago the Royals. Remember they had that promotion where if they got a dozen hits, it was like a dozen free donuts the next day.
Krispy Kreme.
And then they had to cancel the promotion because the Royals kept getting it.
Right.
So
Right. They did it in the wrong year. You know.
That's right. It was an offensive season for the Royals. Now, speaking of food, Nebraska is in here next Tuesday night. It's St. Patrick's Day. And it is the all-you-can-eat seat night here at the ballpark. $20 give you an all-you-can-eat seat, a ticket package that gives you a GA ticket, a wristband that gives you unlimited hot dogs, nachos, popcorn, candy, water, soda, and 2 domestic beers.
I mean, I may make the trip back up just to be at that game. It's a heck of a deal.
And that is St. Patrick's Day against Nebraska next Tuesday night, 6 o'clock. We'll have it for you here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. There you go. St. Patrick's Day for the Wildcats against the Huskers.
Everything you need to eat at a baseball game.
Kokoska was hoping to join Phillips with a 2-homer game, went after 1 down and in, missed. Other promotions, by the way, including $2 Fridays, $2 hot dog Fridays. You can read more about those at kstatesports.com. Two and two to Kokoska, who was grounded out the second twice. Man, Matthew Vose, our producer and director today, is so on top of it.
They are on it.
Look at that. Eastern Michigan. That's Friday. That's the next home game for the Wildcats. $5 tickets when ordered in advance.
Notice they put in there while supplies last.
That's true. Kokoska, a high fly ball to right. Does this have enough? It's off the wall. Kokoska rounding second. Thought about going to third. Hesitated. Now caught in no man's land between second and third base. Actually, that's Dom Hughes who's caught between second and third, as Kokoska will go on to second and Hughes will be out. So base running mistake by Hughes robs Kokoska of perhaps more than just a double. And Hughes will stop by his dad, Pete, for a conversation.
Well, this is a tough read because, one, you don't know if he's going to catch it. He's getting back to the wall. You know, he jumps, and then all of a sudden the ball comes off the wall. Now what Dom needs to do, as soon as that happens, he needs to pick up Pete at third base right away, because the play's in front of Pete, and he could tell him, well, hey, keep coming, keep coming. You know, Zach's got to wait to see if he goes, and then it was just, I don't think he picked him up right away, and then he was in between, and then he realized, like, oh man, I should be at third base, and just ran himself into an out.
We'll get the official scoring on that, but that is the first out of the inning. Kokoska replaces Hughes at second. And Carinci will take one low for ball one. Now, it'll be interesting to see if that's ruled a single and then advancement on the throw for Kokoska.
It should be. It should have been a double, but it should be ruled as a base hit.
And it is ruled a double, so Kokoska getting the hometown scoring. That crossed up the catcher. It bounds all the way to the wall. That allows the runner to advance. Hackman, who just came in defensively at catcher for Rees in this inning, is likely going to get tagged for a pass ball. Yep. And that will allow Kokoska to get to third.
Those are always tough because you get tagged with a pass ball, but obviously it was a cross-up where you thought a slider was coming or a curveball, and a little mix-up signals. Especially, you see that a lot with guys on second base, you know, because you run through a series of signs, and sometimes the pitcher and the catcher aren't on the same page.
Carinci down to get it. Trying to get it in the air to get Kokoska home out to center field. Shallow grab for Badger. Kokoska will test the arm, and he will just rip around Hackman and touch home plate. So Carinci drives in the run, and K-State has hit double figures.
Good job of tagging up. This ball wasn't very deep, so it was going to be a challenge.
Looked like Badger almost overran it a little bit.
Yeah, if he would have had a little bit more momentum, he might have had a better shot. But actually, it was a little closer than I originally anticipated. But nonetheless, sac fly.
The Cats total yet another run. They have scored in each of the last 4 innings. Cam Thompson has scored 2 runs today. His fourth plate appearance in 5 innings. And for now, that run is unearned against John Baker after the pass ball by Hackman, the catcher. A line on Thompson and his updated numbers. Got jammed, fouled it away. It was in the preseason when K-State was talking about this upcoming season. Pete Hughes made no bones about it. He said, if we're to be successful, we're going to need Cam Thompson to hit and to be a guy in our lineup. Not just hit, but like be a guy. Guy that's hitting number 3. Swing and a miss there by Thompson. You can see Pete Hughes trying to challenge his senior captain.
Yeah, he missed that first pitch. I thought that first fastball he took a pass at, I thought he had a good cut. He was just a little bit late on it. Now he comes back and swings at a changeup in the dirt. He's got to really focus in and put this ball in play. Focus where he was last at bat, that right side or left side.
Move his feet, get out of the way of that one. Cam is not a guy that talks a whole lot. He is a very quiet leader. You're not going to get many words out of Cam Thompson. Just wants to go about his business. Way out of the zone. Full count. A run in, 2 outs, no one on, and K-State with 10 runs on 14 hits through not quite 5 innings of this baseball game.
Should get a pretty good pitch to hit here, especially with that last pitch being way out. He's going to try to dial it in and just hit the strike zone.
Ball 4 upstairs. 4th time today that Thompson's been on base. 2 walks, 2 hits.
Good job of laying off that that pitch. Sometimes that eye level pitch looks real good, especially 3-2.
Terrence Sperlin, an infield single, his last time up. 1 for 3 on the night. After this pitch, it hits it a mile into the night sky and will be playable for Badger. We'll wait for it to come down finally, and that'll end the inning. K-State adds another run, lengthens their lead to 10 on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Improving each day not only applies to athletes, but also to your health. Small daily improvements, such as eating more fruits and vegetables, living tobacco-free, and taking a short walk, can all make a great impact on your overall wellness. Join me, along with the Kansas Health Foundation, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas, and Stormont Vale Health, in our PowerCat Health Partnership, encouraging all Kansans to live a healthier lifestyle.
When you scan winning and non-winning tickets with the Kansas Lottery Play-On app, you earn points you can redeem for prizes and promotions, like a new car or game day packages. But it's not a miracle worker.
Come on! I'm trying!
Keep the dream of winning going with the Play-On app. Kansas Lottery. Dream bigger.
Welcome to the Big 12, a place marked by unmistakable commitment, uncompromising values, and unrivaled spirit. A place where champions are crowned the right way, in a conference with no divisions, where everyone plays everyone and every game matters. Welcome to the Big 12, a conference unlike all others, where possibilities are unlimited, competition is unsurpassed, and true potential is unleashed.
Well, the wind has died down on a cool night here in the Little Apple. Actually, not really a cool night, a beautiful spring night in the Little Apple at Toyton Family Stadium. K-State with a 10-0 advantage on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. As you look at that new Edgerly family video board out in right field, and they're showing the big guy, Casey Ford, 6'6", 310-pound right-hander up on the mound now for the Wildcats. He has been very good in his final season for K-State. Working mostly as a starter. He will get a chance to get a bullpen in here before the weekend. And the Wildcats. Arkansas native, as you see there, 8 walks, 14 strikeouts, and 13 2/3. Opponents are hitting a paltry .240 against him. And Ford in the 6th will get Beasley, Ira, Max, the 5-6-7 hitters in the lineup, and a fastball blown past the batter Beasley at 91 miles an hour opens the at-bat.
It had a little jump to it.
Ford has seen his velocity increase this year from last season. He is consistently 91 to 93 with a fastball. He has added a slider into his repertoire to go along with a changeup and a curveball. Pumping straight gas right now, and he gets a strikeout on 3 pitches.
You know, we've had the opportunity to see Casey a few times, quite a few times when I've been up here, and he looks a little bit like a different pitcher. Looks like he's got a little bit more confidence. He's got a little bit more zip on it.
Well, I think you hit it nail on the head there with the confidence part of it. He is brimming with confidence at the moment for K-State. You can never have too many good pitchers. In K-State, Pete Hughes and Buck Taylor say they feel like they've got 8 or 9 arms right now that is as good as they've ever had.
Well, they've had some guys step up too. I mean, some guys that, you know, have in Casey Ford. So, you know, when you have a good core and then you have some other guys step up as well. I mean, now you're in business.
A couple of new faces in McCullough and Seymour that had been in the program for a year, the red shirt. Ford took a little something off of that, fouled away.
I mean, I've talked to Coach Hughes before, and Casey's one of the guys that we need this guy. You know, we need him to excel. So it's good to see that he's on track.
Well, one of the things too that was mentioned was And Pete Hughes was quick to point out throughout the struggles last year, nobody wanted to be better. Right. Nobody wanted to win more for K-State than Casey Ford.
Right.
Up the middle and through for a base hit for Luke Ira.
Baseball's, I mean, it's so much about adjustments, right? So if you keep doing the same thing and you don't get the results you want, it's hard to make those adjustments without, coaching staff or, pitching coach to help you, through those things. So as you mentioned, you went from a curveball to more of a slider. Just a little adjustment like that changes the whole dynamic of facing him.
A little off-speed pitch there.
He throws hard, throws a hard slider. If as big as he is coming out, that he's stepping, like it feels like he's stepping into the box. So you're not giving anybody an opportunity to see something slower, to get the bat head out, to speed up your bat. That's the one thing pitchers don't want to do, is speed up hitters' bats.
Well, there's that slider as it nastily broke down out of the strike zone.
So many times you'll see a pitcher, they'll throw a fastball by somebody and then they'll come back with a curveball and then the guy will hit it. If you're having success with that hard stuff, stay with it.
Berg came in as a replacement defensively last night. He's in for Carson Max today. Or that is Max at the plate. My apologies. Max is 0 for 2. Blocked by Ceballos. Fastball lower half, didn't get the call, and Ceballos a throw back behind the runner.
Ceballos getting some work in. Good snap throw.
Tough to do with a left-handed batter too.
Yeah.
Ceballos has an arm. I mean, that part has never been in question. Chris has thrown out 6 of the 8 base stealers against him this year. Now some of that's on the pitchers too, being quick to home plate. Bluff start by the runner. Ceballos tried to hold it. Foul back, and that caught a piece of Ceballos.
Looks like maybe it got his thumb. On his glove. Sometimes you get those foul tips, it pushes your hand back from the glove, and thumb's barking for a little bit. A lot of times you'll see catchers wear almost like a cast on their thumb to actually prevent that from that thumb bending backwards.
Down and in, he struck him out.
Pitch, good battle. Looks like he had some good action on that. Down and in. See if Casey can get a ground ball right here.
Cranback walked earlier, struck out his last at bat. Tried to check on that slider away, and he did not go around.
He's had some good downward movement, so you want to see, when the hitters do hit the ball, where do they hit it? Are they hitting it on the line? Are they getting it elevated? A lot of pitchers, downward movement, you get a lot of ground balls, which is a good sign.
Not the ground ball, but it's foul. Now, Casey Ford last year, mentioned it before, that had a lot of struggles. K-State as a reliever, he had an ERA over 10, season ERA over 12. Just could not find consistent success. Walked 28. Ground ball right to Sperlin. We'll take it to the bag, and that'll end the inning. So Casey Ford's first relief appearance of the season is a scoreless 6th. Cats up 10 on Big 12 Now.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases. Just think about the miles you can earn on things like gifts.
Should I continue?
No, I want to hear this. Or a rental tux with a handsome cummerbund. Double miles on all of it.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles. Anyone else speak now?
One more thing. What's in your wallet?
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
The new Samsung Galaxy S25G has arrived at Sprint, and it's 5G ready. With a revolutionary camera, you can capture video and multiple pictures with one tap. Get it for just $0 a month. It's 5G ready.
Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing. But how will we... The closing!
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside every Marine. Battles won.
Powercat over on Bill Snyder Family Stadium across the parking lot on Big 12 Now and ESPN Plus. Kansas State up 10-0 on South Dakota State. Pretty soon the trees will block that view as they fill in, at least to the Powercat. Be able to see Bill Snyder Family Stadium in a different way. New pitcher for South Dakota State, and in to throw in the 4th game of the year, another freshman, Jack Sullivan, out of Bellevue, Nebraska, suburb of Omaha, or near Omaha and Lincoln, southeast corner of the state. First pitch fouled back by Dylan Phillips, who has 2 home runs in his last 2 at-bats. Won't get a third, but he'll get an extra base hit as he goes the other way. It bounces around down in the corner of the gap. Dylan Phillips is 4 for 4 and is a triple away from the cycle.
Now that's a good sign, right? Hit 2 balls, smoked 2 balls to right field, had 2 home runs, come in with that approach and hit a ball like that into the gap. I mean, he's really seeing the ball well right now.
It's also a pretty good bet that he saw Jack Sullivan in high school, since they're both from the same area. Phillips a sophomore and Sullivan a freshman. Chris Ceballos will be called back, and K-State will pinch hit here with Chris Herb. Chris Herb is a backup outfielder / pitcher for K-State, making his 5th appearance and just his 2nd official plate appearance. He's been often used as a pinch runner. Swings at the breaking ball and comes up empty. Phillips, by the way, with his 4 for 4 effort, has a new career high in hits. We got a pretty good safe bet for our player of the game at this rate. 0-1, Herb having to wait on that pitch, fouls it away.
Yeah, he's had a good night. He's hit 4 balls right on the screws. And I thought, honestly, he hit the 2. I thought that was the most impressive one. That was, I mean, he dialed up the 2 home runs, but that swing that he just took right there was exactly what you want to see.
That tells you that that's a guy that's not just locked in, but
right. That it didn't hit mistakes, right?
Right.
You got to wonder if it's like he just had 2 good pitches to hit, but that was the right piece of hitting.
Herb hits one right to short, and the throw to first is in time. Phillips stays at second. One out for Cameron Willman.
Because we talked about his path last night too. You know, you get concerned about getting too pull happy and looking for those pitches and pulling off, and that right there tells you that he's not pulling off. His mind frame is good. It's gap to gap, and he's running into a couple.
Ground ball deep at short. Off balance throw in time to get Cameron Willman. What a play by Luke Ira.
That was a very, very nice play. To get a speedy runner too. That's a deep in the hole. I think he's finally learned though that's where Cameron likes to hit the ball, right? He's got 2 hits in between that hole. Moved over, he's shaded over a little bit. Tough throw. Right on the money.
Jordan Maxson, the only Wildcat without a hit. The only Wildcat starter, I should say. He's had trouble with that slider, and it's 0-2. Got away from the catcher, and that'll allow Phillips to get to third.
Looks like he got crossed up again.
Yep. That'll be turned a wild pitch.
Yep, expecting high fastball.
Another close one that doesn't go the way of the Jacks. 2-2. Full count. Well, Maxson's been robbed those last 2 times up. He's trying to get ground balls up the middle, and both have been snagged by the pitchers. See if he can find a hole here on a payoff pitch with a runner at third. 2 outs. Fires one off the front-facing fence of the dugout of South Dakota State. Do it again between Sullivan and Maxson. By the way, been informed no run rule in effect for tonight, despite it being getaway day for South Dakota State, being here on spring break and busing. So we'll go the full 9. And ball 4. So Maxson earns a free pass, and every Wildcat starter has been at least on base. 5th walk issued by Jack's pitchers tonight. Dom Hughes has been on base twice for the number 9 spot. A couple of base running mistakes. Otherwise has spoiled a pretty good night. 1 for 2. He'll take a strike.
Seems like forever ago, but Dom really set the table early on with that 2-out hit.
Back in the 2nd inning. 2 out, 2 RBI single. Scoring Dylan Phillips and Ceballos. Quick throw over. Even up 10. South Dakota State wanted to make sure the Wildcats didn't have a play on with Maxson at first. No, the old 2 outs. They start the runner from first, get him in a rundown, get a guy home from third. Not sure K-State will do that, but
yeah, I mean, you get to the point where you don't want to show anybody up, in a 10-run game. But there's times where you need to work on some things, for conference play.
And that is one of those plays that you certainly want to have in your arsenal. 2-1.
And you don't really want to use it, early on when the game's on the line or means something. Oh.
Oh, my.
That's what we call speed up rules.
Oof. Looked like a little change-up away, and it. Oh, man. Really no way to brighten the response on that one. Hughes protecting. Will ground one foul left side. That was just one that was kicked by Dean Carlson. Freshman against freshman. Hughes gets jammed, puts one in the air to right center. It'll hold up for one of the two outfielders, and it's Max, who moved over from left field to right field, who will make the grab and will end the inning. Cats get 2 more runners, but have left 8 on, but lead by 10 through 6.
With the Capital One Saver Card, you earn 4% cash back on dining and 4% on entertainment. So when you go out, you cash in. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing. But how will we... The closing!
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win found inside every Marine. Battles won.
At AutoZone, we'll help you kiss that check engine like goodbye. Our free Fix Finder service told him the most likely fix. And our free Loan-A-Tool program helped him fix it. Need a repair shop? We know some of the best. Getting the job done just got easier.
Substitutions for K-State defensively. We'll get to all those coming up in just a little bit. The Wildcats, as we go to the 7th, lead by 10. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Wildcats. Guy making his K-State debut, Zach Ebert, will take over. A product out of Topeka, Kansas. Washburn Rural High School, Johnson County Community College. And he'll take over on the hill to make his first appearance of the year. He was the 5th pitcher in Centennial League history to have over 200 strikeouts in back-to-back years, the last 2 years of high school. So a guy that has quite a resume coming to K-State. Upper 80s to 90 with a fastball, a top-to-bottom 12-6 curveball to go with a changeup. He'll get a pinch hitter here to start off here with the bottom of the 6th, or maybe Jamie Berg, I should say, will take over. At the bottom of the 6th. Just came inside and missed. 2-1.
Guys getting in situations like this, you know, first time, you want to get the jitters out. You want to have success, get the first hitter.
And he'll get him.
That was a hammer.
It's that curveball we were talking about.
Big 12-6. Good break. See the buckle.
Landon Badger is 1 for 3. Oh, he's buckled on that breaking ball, but it didn't go in for a strike.
One thing about his delivery is he throws a lot of body at you. So he opens up real fast. His head's kind of moving all over the place. So when he throws that curveball, you got a lot of action, and then the ball comes out and it ends up dropping. It's a little deceiving.
Good at bat by Badger to take 4 pitches out of the zone. 1 out runner for Ryan McDonald.
One thing you want to do as a pitcher is you want to make every pitch look the same, right? You want it, your delivery needs to be the same on everything, so it's a little bit deceptive and nobody knows really what you're throwing. Some pitchers will drop down a little bit more when they're throwing a curveball or a slider or something, but if you could make all pitches look the same, it's very hard as a hitter.
Off the end of the bat, Dom Hughes will take care of that. He's over in center now with Kokoska out of the game. Hogeson is in right. Thompson is out of the game with Willman at third. Carinci at short. And Little Jib into the game for Cam Thompson playing second base. And Mason Cruz doing the catching. Braden Brown, the batter. Two and 0 to Brown.
Overall, the pitchers have done a really good job tonight for K-State. Throwing up zeros again. 2 hits, 4 hits last night, 2 hits tonight. Continue that hot streak.
Line to second. Little Jim stays on it. He'll make the grab for the final out. So Zach Ebert, the scoreless inning in his debut, the Topeka product.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases. Just think about the miles you can earn on things like gifts.
Should I continue?
No, I want to hear this. Or a rental tux with a handsome cummerbund. Double miles on all of it.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles! Anyone else speak now?
One more thing. What's in your wallet?
Like leather, skin is stronger when it's hydrated, but 9 out of 10 men don't get the hydration their skin needs. That's why Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash has a unique hydrating formula to keep men's skin healthier and stronger.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or aircraft. It's the will to fight and determination to win found inside every Marine. Battles won.
Paul, I am loving the all-new camera system on iPhone 11.
And I love how it's Sprint.
You can get the amazing iPhone 11 for $0 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6s or newer.
In any condition.
Seriously, in any condition.
Your offer's been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing. But how will we... The closing!
Little Wabash Cannonball here at Toyton Family Stadium on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. K-State with 10 runs, all in the first 5 innings of the ball game. And now trying to close out a series split with South Dakota State before hosting Eastern Michigan this weekend. Brian Smolder, Craig Wilson, our entire crew back with you here from Toyton Family Stadium. Jack Sullivan out for another inning of work, and Zach Hogeson, who just came in defensively that last half inning, will get his first plate appearance and take a pitch upstairs for ball 1. Ground ball chopped towards second. Charging is Brown on the run. He'll make the grab and throw out Hogeson.
Another nice play by Brown. Got it in between hop. Had to come get it. He's had a couple of those tonight where he's had to come charging in and make an off-balance throw.
Carinci, who's now playing shortstop, will get a chance to hit. And sees one skip in for ball one. Carinci 1 for 3 with a double. Big cut comes up empty. Mentioned the big series this weekend for South Dakota State, beginning Summit League play. And they will not be at home for another 2 weeks. 23 games on the road to begin the life of Northern baseball. Wildcats begin Big 12 play a week from Friday night. Tied up inside. Carinci will strike out.
Good action
Strike
on
out
that
for
pitch.
Sullivan, yeah.
Yeah, good action on that pitch. He really ran that in. Looked like a good pitch to start off, and it just kept coming.
Yesterday's starting pitcher, Caleb Littlejim, who often sees time in center field, will now be the hitter. Cam Thompson finishes today officially 2 for 2. Reached base 4 times. A couple of walks, and Littlejim up. Swinging comes up empty. Caleb has struggled here in the early part of this season. Honorable mention all Big 12 last year as a utility player, but hitting just 171, 7 for 41. But he has a lot of power as he smashes one foul here towards the netting that protects the Seidlinger family playground. Numbers on Littlejim, who actually hit the first home run for K-State this year. Fouls this one away. Six homers last season for Littlejim. Three today by Wildcats. 2 from Dylan Phillips. Littlejim crushes one to left field, and just making the grab ahead of that Dylan side is Jamie Berg on the run. 3 up, 3 down for the Wildcats for the first time tonight.
Education is life itself. You never stop learning. So make the most of it, everywhere.
Hey, you gonna do this or what? You gotta do it. And keep doing it. Do it big. Hit it. Stepping up. Always take the risk. Don't just watch it. Put your phone down and do it. Drip splash like the ice on the wrist. That's a call I can't miss. Do what they say you can't. Because there are those who don't and those who do. Let's do.
And education is life itself. This is your time. So go out and make it your own.
New pitcher for the Wildcats as we go to the 8th inning, and it's last year's Friday night starter, Griffin Hassel. Just to show you the depth of this Big 12 leading pitching staff, Hassel now relegated to mop-up duties in the midweek, and that is saying nothing about his individual talent and everything about depth of the arms that Pete Hughes and Buck Taylor have now amassed in year 2 in their tenure. Here's the numbers for Hassel. Just 1 appearance on the season for the native of Toronto, a Big 12 freshman team member last season. All Big 12 freshman team selection with an ERA of 4.4 in his opening year for K-State. And the first pitch Hassel delivers to Josh Falk is low for ball 1. Hassel's only appearance this season came against Fairleigh Dickinson here in this ballpark some time ago, a week from last Saturday. Falk without a hit has walked and been hit by the pitch. Fastball is fouled back. Hassel's not going to overwhelm you with speed, but he is a competitor. 85-88 with a fastball, slider, changeup combo. And it was his bulldog mentality that K-State really liked last year. Kind of gave him a chance at a Friday night start with some injuries, and he took it and ran with it. Just did not relent. That Friday night role going up against some of the nation's best pitchers in the Big 12 on a Friday night. Hassel gave them competitive starts, it seemed like, night in, night out. Command just hasn't quite carried through to this second season to this point, after adding about 20 pounds to his frame from last year to this year. Fastball is chopped to third. Willman will take that and take care of it.
Looking like a natural over there. Yeah, you're right, though. I mean, you know, he probably expected the pitch a little bit more, so it's probably a little bit harder for him to get into the rhythm because he hasn't seen. But the Wildcats definitely need him this year. You know, he could be a big part. You know, as you mentioned earlier, just the depth. You know, you can't have too much pitching, and you know, hopefully the Cats don't run into any injuries. But if they do, he's probably going to be looked at as one of the guys.
Absolutely. There are very few that have experience in the Big 12 to the level of Griffin Hassel. Former member of Team Canada. That looked to be a pretty good pitch. Didn't get the call. 2-0.
You know, any successful team will tell you, like, I mean, everybody on the team contributes, right? I mean, at some point during the season, everybody contributes.
Fouled away, 2-1. Chopper to third again for Willman. Shows off that arm talent. 2 outs.
Well, anytime you can move your shortstop over to third base, get 2 ground balls, that's a pretty good strategy. I don't think that's what they were really thinking, but it's worked out.
Luke Ira has 1 of the 2 hits today for South Dakota State. He singled off of Casey Ford in the 6th. It's a fastball at 87 miles an hour. Trying to stay on that curveball, but could not, and so 0-2. Or the slider, I should say. Hassel looking for a 1-2-3 hitting. Trying to get him to chase.
It's a good spot, good pitch, 0-2 right there. And set up a lot of different pitches for 1-2.
Evens the count. Nice grab by the K-State dugout. Swing and a miss. Hassel gets the strikeout. Cruz will fire down to first. Griffin Hassel rings up yet another strikeout for the Wildcat pitching staff. And they maintain the shutout. Going to the bottom of the 8th on Big 12 now.
Capital One knows life doesn't update you about your credit card. So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant that catches things that might look wrong and helps you fix them. Another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
Paul, I am loving the all-new camera system on iPhone 11.
And I love how it's Sprint.
You can get the amazing iPhone 11 for $0 a month when you trade in your iPhone 6s or newer.
In any condition.
Seriously, in any condition.
Big 12 scoreboard as we come back and begin to wrap things up here. K-State into the bottom of the 8th inning, up 10-0. Mississippi State hangs on to beat Texas Tech, so that big-time matchup in Biloxi, Mississippi, in a neutral site, somewhat neutral site. Mississippi State has taken 2 of 3 so far, or 2 of 2, I should say, swept the Red Raiders. Jayhawks get swept at Iowa. Texas big on Abilene Christian, and Dallas Baptist, a team ranked in the top 25, leading Baylor in the bottom of the 7th. It's been a little bit of a rough start for the Baylor Bears after their magical run last year for Steve Rodriguez. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. Here 10-0 in favor of the Wildcats. Drew Beasley, who had been the designated hitter today for South Dakota State, is now going to get a chance to pitch. One other defensive change for the Jacks, as they have a new left fielder. That is someone who has yet to play this year. Or check that. It's Wyatt Anderson who's out there in left field. A third baseman. He's getting the call in the outfield, the freshman. Played yesterday, did Wyatt Anderson, went 1 for 3. So he now gets in defensively out and left, and he'll replace Landon Badger with Jamie Berg moving to center. Austin Garrett will be the leadoff man in this inning for K-State. And Garrett will pinch hit for Terrence Sperlin here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Sperlin ends the day 1 for 4. Garrett, who started at catcher last night for K-State, swings through and foul tips a pitch. Garrett hitless in the game last night. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And he'll ground this one up the middle for a base hit.
Well, whenever you call off the bench, you're pitch hitting, you want to get in there and get some swings, right? So very aggressive, sharp ground ball up the middle. Good approach.
K-State will call back Dylan Phillips, so Phillips will not get a chance to hit for the cycle. And the Wildcats will have Dylan Kaplinger, another backup catcher that will pinch hit. Pete Hughes emptying the bench here today. Breaking ball is a strike.
I can tell you one thing, if Dylan would have hit a ball in the gap, he would have been thinking 3.
Well, if he had been able to hit, you're saying.
Right,
yes.
Right. No, that's the hard. Usually you start off the game with a triple,
Oh, boy, yeah.
Okay?
Now you're...
Now all of a sudden you're thinking, okay.
Yep.
I mean, not that you're thinking that at bat, but when that's out of the way first, it's a lot easier than going into your last at bat needing a triple.
Four for 4 day for Phillips. New career high in hits, 2 home runs, 5 driven in. And started the game on the mound. Kaplinger fooled on a breaking ball, will strike out. No throw to first, the runner there. So 1 out.
I will tell you, though, instead of a cycle, I mean, 2 home runs, I think I'd rather have that.
Total bases wise, he certainly did his job.
Yeah.
Rolled up 11 total bases today.
I think, we build up the cycle because it's a rarity, obviously, but, you can't, there's nothing to sneeze about it with, having 2 home runs and 4 hits.
Yeah, he didn't just get the cycle, he went one better.
Yes.
Right? I mean, he had the homer, double, single, and instead of a triple, I'll just hit another homer.
Right. You don't have to leg it out.
Well, if he's going to hit like that, maybe he should start more often as far as pitching on the mound for an inning.
Well, he responded. I made the comment earlier. Let's see how he focuses, because you go into the game knowing that you're pitching. So that's obviously the main thing that you want to control and get your mind right and, have a good outing and everything. And then he was pulled fairly early. And then all of a sudden now you have to, regroup. You have to figure out, okay, now I got to put together some good at-bats. He was able to do it.
Foul tipped by Mason Cruz, who came in defensively last half inning. Cruz is 1 for 2 on the year. He hasn't played since the Saturday doubleheader against Fairleigh Dickinson last weekend. Or the weekend before. He'll swing and miss at that breaking pitch. 2 strikeouts back-to-back for Beasley after the leadoff single to Garrett. And Cameron Willman will get a chance to hit for the 5th time. And the pitch is low. The only 2 position players that K-State has not used in this game are Blake Burrows, sophomore outfielder, and I suppose you could say Jackson Passido. Passido has been a pitcher for K-State for much of this year, but he has played a couple of games defensively in the infield. Popped up foul right side. And it 1 hops its way out.
Cameron trying to finish out a good day. 2 hits. Battling here.
Pitch was down. Oh, they're going to say he went around, and that'll end the inning. So 3 strikeouts for Beasley after the leadoff base hit to get out of the inning. Wildcats strand 9, but they have 10 on the board and looking for another shutout when we come back.
Here's a razor that works differently. The Gillette Skin Guard. It has a guard between the blades that helps protect skin. The Gillette Skin Guard.
This is Goldest Carrot Publishing, a small business on Amazon, and the owner and author, Crystal Swain Bates.
Big Hair Don't Care is about a little girl who loves her big hair. I love knowing that my books are normalizing Black girl magic and brown boy joy.
More than half of everything sold on Amazon comes from small and medium-sized businesses like Goldest Carrot Publishing, and you can find them on Amazon.
Okay, I have to say something. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day, not just on airline purchases. Just think about the miles you can earn on things like gifts.
Should I continue?
No, I want to hear this. Or a rental tux with a handsome cummerbund. Double miles on all of it.
Holy matrimony! That's a lot of miles. Anyone else speak now?
One more thing. What's in your wallet?
How fast does Dove Dry Spray actually dry? Dry Spray dries in an instant, leaving these men with nothing to do in this ad. Thankfully, we've got something to fill the time, instantly putting these guys back into their comfort zone. Dove Dry Spray dries instantly and keeps you protected for 48 hours.
Coming up, the next few broadcasts here on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. It's the weekend series with Eastern Michigan, who comes in for 3 games against K-State. You can notice that Sunday game has been moved to 12 Central Time. Friday's game and Saturday's game at this point are still slated for 6 and 4 o'clock. There is some weather concerns with both days, and we'll probably know more about those games tomorrow. We'll wait for an official announcement. All 3 games, though, right here on Big 12 Now on ESPN Plus. Carson Max to lead off the top of the 9th inning. Luke Houseworth is the new pitcher for K-State. Houseworth, the senior, making his 2nd appearance of the year. 3 scoreless innings earlier this season. Houseworth painted the outside edge but didn't get the strike call. 1-1. Houseworth's earlier outing against Fairleigh Dickinson, that was in the Friday game of a doubleheader a few weeks back. Carson Max hitless on the day. Sees fastball get by him, and it's 0-2. Houseworth's going to sit about 85 to 87 with a fastball. And he has got a wickedly slow curveball and slider combination to pair with it. Curveball at 67. And a slider at 72. And you start pairing that with an 85 to 87 mile per hour fastball, things get a little dicey at the plate. 2-2, blown right by Carson Max. He strikes out for the 3rd time today, and Luke Houseworth opens up his outing with a strikeout.
Again, not, from miles per hour standpoint, not that hard, but sneaky. Ball's jumping on the hitters, and the hitters aren't reacting fast enough.
Pinch hitter for the South Dakota State squad, Ethan Wishon, making his 1st appearance of the season. He has not played yet this year. He gets an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Ethan Wishon is a freshman from Yankton, South Dakota. Fastball's up and away, 1-1. Six foot, 190 pounds in there from the right side against Houseworth. Fastball hit right side will be fouled. And that's 1-2.
Coach Hughes will be happy with the bounce back tonight.
No doubt. There'll be a little frustration of what happened, of course, last night. Skied left side. Will it stay fair is the only question. Or in play, I should say. Willman in foul ground will make the grab. 2 outs. And South Dakota State down to their final out. If K-State holds this score, it would be their 2nd shutout this season. However, it would be the 10th time this year that they've allowed 1 run or less in a game as a pitching staff. Ground ball to second. Little Jim to first. K-State shuts out South Dakota State. Shutouts either way. Jackrabbits win 4-0 on day one of the series. K-State comes back with a 10-0 answer in game two. Wildcats got to empty the bench. They got to empty the bullpen. With the lights flashing, the new LED lights here at Tointon Family Stadium, the Wildcats celebrate their 10th win of the campaign. Now 10-1 lifetime, make it 11-1 lifetime against South Dakota State. They have now won 7 of their last 9 before hosting Eastern Michigan this weekend. And as we name our player of the game, no surprise that it would be this normal starting left fielder for the Wildcats today, the starting pitcher, Dylan Phillips.
He was absolutely on fire tonight. I mean, look at those swings. You could tell he's just locked in. He's seeing the ball really good. That one, he just absolutely sat on, waited, stayed back. I mean, couldn't ask for a better night.
You love this one the most.
Yeah, that one. I mean, that's just good, pure hitting right there. Just staying back, taking that pitch to left center field, and just an all-around really, really good night.
11-game hit streak for Dylan Phillips. You can see there 4 for 4, 2 homers, 5 driven in to tie a career high. The 5 RBIs do. The 4 hits tie or are a new career high. The 2 homers, it's the 3rd time in his career he's done that. Dylan Phillips, he's your player of the game. Well, this weekend, it'll be Craig Wilson back with you for Eastern Michigan as the Wildcats battle Eastern Michigan to the first of 3 here on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. Hope you enjoy that coming up this weekend. And if you're in town, come by to the ballpark. Matt Walters, Craig Wilson on the call for you for the games this weekend. For Matt Mose, for Craig Wilson, I'm Brian Smoller. Thank you for watching. K-State defeating South Dakota State 10-0. This has been a